on? I am Nando.
And and I'm DJ.
Oh, and this is mostly nitpicking, a podcast where every week we pick apart a piece of pop culture by looking exclusively at the details. Woo!
Indeed.
DJ, what voice is that?
Why, it is I, the voice of the incredible goat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Right, you guys didn't get the goat?
No, that makes sense. For a second, I thought you were doing the villain, and I was like, but he was just Chris Pine the whole time. Yeah, he didn't do a voice at all. And you know what? Fine, good for you. Like, really, it really was just what's his name? Yeah, Alan Tudyk was the only character I would say is like doing a voice.
Unfortunately, we Chris's are unable to voice act. We can only do our own voice.
Well, excuse me, you saw the Garfield trailer, Diggins. Don't you shame one of our premier Chris's.
Well, and you know, Nando, I would say, in terms of doing voices, I should probably abstain for the rest of the podcast, as I'm playing a little hurt today, but I'm here. I'm here regardless.
Yes, that's right. DJ is our very own Aaron Rodgers.
That's right.
Goddamn right.
And not just because he can't stop talking about Settlers of Catan, but that hasn't helped his thing. Remember that?
Oh,
he was really into Settlers of Catan. Back when he was a nerd and not a weirdo like now. That was his whole thing, was he was like, played Settlers of Catan, and he talked about like Princess Bride and stuff. And
Nando, I think you'll find that nerds are weirdos.
They're a special kind. He's a special kind of weirdo now. I would not call him a nerd. I think he's just. I think he lost the nerdiness and went straight to weirdo. And again, I don't think New York was the main cause of it, but I don't think it helped.
Yeah, it didn't help.
This week, speaking of helping and not helping and stuff, we're going to talk about this new Disney movie, the 100th anniversary movie of Disney. You guys,
whoa!
Wish. We're going to talk about Wish. And before that, you guys, we got trailers this week. A lot of trailers.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So we're going to go through them pretty quickly because not a lot of them had that much information. We'll start with the newest one as of today. So today we're recording this on December 4th. We all just saw, I assume, I usually ask you guys before this. I don't remember if I asked Diggins, the Grand Theft Auto trailer.
I knew it was out, but I haven't seen it.
DJ, you saw it. What'd you think?
I couldn't be more excited for a game coming out in 2025 after the heat death of the universe. So
it genuinely made me go like, wait, which year is it now? Oh my God, is it 2024? I forgot. And then, yeah, I mean, it takes them a lot of time to, lovingly recreate Florida. It's one of our hardest states to virtualize.
Don't they have all those assets already? Like, really? That's what we gotta do?
The alligator walking into the convenience store asset is new. That wasn't in the last one. And all the other guys are just like polygons made of, like 12 surfaces. Because the last time we've done anything here was Vice City, which was like pretty much Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's a long time ago. It'd be really funny if they did try to sneak a couple of those assets in. Like, we already got this billboard. Let's just put it in. And it just looked like a humongous, plane.
It's just like a blurry, pixelated mess.
Yeah, like remember when they tried to do that with the last Grand Theft Auto? They did like kind of AI upscaling, and it took certain things like donuts and rendered them as big cubes. You guys remember this?
I don't.
It's pretty funny. They basically, it seems like they did like an HD remaster of GTA 5 because the last one came out like a bazillion years ago.
Oh, I remember that coming out and being a complete and total disaster.
Yeah, and part of it was that they did, some of it was like automatic, like by some sort of program. And I think they used like, AI, and that kind of air quotes, everything is AI. But what they did was so automatic that a lot of people would go in and notice like, oh, they thought that this curved surface was actually supposed to be a, right angle. So it turned it into this, or thought this right angle was supposed to be a curve. That's what it was. There was a wrench.
Oh, okay.
They had like, or it was like a what are those called? A nut, I guess. Like it is like a hardware store with a big, like nut on it. Like it's the donut from, the Iron Man sits in. And it smoothed it all out into a donut because that's what it thought that was supposed to be.
I love that.
So hopefully that makes its way into this. That'd be funny if they had like a half donut, half auto repair shop in the new game. But yeah, what thing are you guys most excited to see in a Grand Theft Auto set in modern day Florida?
Well, now that you get to play as a lady, it seems like
Oh my god! Well, real quick, is it woke? Yes. Okay. Moving on. Just kidding, because she is a criminal apparently. So it's like, maybe. You know, we used to have upstanding citizens.
She's a non-white criminal, so even further.
Man,
I'm excited.
The Wokaboros just ate its own.
I'm excited to find out what weird, like, punny name they give to the mission where you go to Mar-a-Lago and beat up Donald Trump.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh, is there gonna be a Mar-a-Lago in this? There probably will.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's like, is Rockstar a woke company? Are they gonna make fun of like the whole like Florida Trump of it all?
I mean, they're like woke in the sense that, like, I wouldn't say they're like a woke company in the way that like would upset people, but like I feel like they're conscious enough that I don't think they'll do it. I don't think they'll do especially because the game comes out in 2025. Like,
yeah, it's true. Trump might be president again.
Yeah, he might be president, and
yeah, they want to fuck with that.
Then it won't be fun. Although there will probably be like a jail that you break someone out of with like a supermax cell with one guy in it, and it's like that's supposed to be Trump or something. I bet they'll do that.
I will say, Nando, to answer your question, the thing I'm most excited for is because we're a lady. I want to be able to find male prostitutes and have sex with them, and then beat them up and take their money.
Go to Chippendales and stuff.
Kill them. Because of my extremely healthy attitudes towards women and sex workers.
I like that idea. I've not even thought about that, but you're right. You could do. There might be male prostitutes. I mean, it could be all kinds of prostitutes, and you know,
and perhaps you could even hire a male prostitute as a man. Even.
I mean, that's that's I think the line GTA will not cross. That's about as woke as I think that company is.
That's going full woke. We can't do that.
They won't do that. Yeah. That would be funny if it got banned in certain states. Not because you can, blow a cop's head off with a machine gun or something, because you can hire a male sex worker as a male character.
I mean, remember hot coffee and all that? That basically already happened.
What's hot coffee?
Oh, this is like I forget what GTA it was. Maybe San Andreas. There was a mod. Well, people found out that there was going to be like a sex scene in the game, but they had removed it. They never like animated, or they had animated it, but they never actually made the models because they decided to remove it. But the animation and like the scene was still in the game. So a modder like made models for it so you could watch a sex scene. And like people got very upset about it and were like, this game is going to corrupt the youth. And it's like the cop killing simulator is corrupting the youth now that somebody found a sex scene in it.
Yeah. Do you think in a post Baldur's Gate 3 world that's still a thing?
No, definitely not. No. Now we've just accepted that sometimes video game characters go down on each other. Yeah.
And I mean, there's a new mod now, so I don't know what's the new thing, but I think there's even, they're currently innovating in Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, they just added dick physics.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did do that. That's so funny. Hopefully, I mean, that's probably why they had to delay Grand Theft Auto so far back. They were like, we could get this out January 2024 at the latest. And they saw the dick swinging around. They were like, Jesus Christ, we're already a generation behind on dick physics.
Is it going to wind up being like a 15-year gap between 5 and 6?
When did 5 come out? I mean, I think we were in college.
We were in college, yeah.
So kind of. Potentially. I mean, at least 10 years, right? 2025 to when? Wasn't 2010, was it?
2013 is when it came out. So 12 years. That's something.
That's like how long a game would go that was on hiatus. Like that's how long between a game that has to be revived, as opposed to like they're still working on it the whole time. Like there would be a vaporware period in the middle of the Grand Theft Auto development cycle for any other game.
Oh my god.
Speaking of vaporware, there were other trailers that came out. Mostly some of them were kind of cool. Like Game of Thrones has dragons in it or whatever. What was the other one that I didn't really care about? Boys, they're still there. Politics stuff. I think they're going to do an insurrection. I think there's no other way that the season can end. So that'll be exciting. Also a Halo Season 2 trailer, which I have not watched it, but a lot of people were like, this might be good though, and I don't want to believe them. But
Come on now.
Well, Nando, how could it be bad when Season 1 was already the best TV show that came out that year?
And that's what people were saying. That's what people were hoping. And you know what? I think like if you want to keep, because I just assumed they would not make a second season because everyone hated it. If you're making a second season, that must mean you learned some lesson, right? And then the answer
No.
is, of course
No,
not.
stop
Yeah,
it.
never.
What's wrong with you?
So that's probably not what happened.
Or let me be fair. You might have learned a lesson, but it was definitely the wrong one.
That's true. Yeah, it's a I mean, yeah, he wore the helmet too much, you know.
People wanted more of Cortana getting cuckolded.
Yeah, that was funny. That was really good. So there's the trailer for that. There was a trailer for Kong and Godzilla. They are doing Pink Godzilla now, you guys.
So woke.
Just like Shin
Godzilla's gone
Godzilla.
woke. Yep, that's right. Just like Shin Godzilla. And like, listen, it's so crazy how many Godzillas we have going right now. Because you got this, you got the Godzilla -1 movie, and you got the Monarch show. And at least this and the Monarch show are kind of in the same continuity. Although if the Monarch show is good and this is bad, I don't think they will be. Like, I think they will kind of split.
Well, the Monarch show is in continuity with all the other movies, right?
It takes place in 2015, so it's in continuity with the 2014 movie, but nothing since then has happened.
Okay.
Oh God,
which is good because that's the only good one, you know. Like,
yeah, but it's so
That's
confusing.
true.
it's confusing in the sense that, like, you know, if as long as, I mean, it's confusing because nothing makes sense in these universes anyway. But it's also, you're hopping forward and backwards in time. It's a very confusing show. I like it though; it's good. But yeah, did you guys watch the Godzilla X Kong trailer?
Yeah. It I gotta tell you. So it seems like they're fighting together against. Is it Bad Monkey or Space Godzilla? I couldn't quite suss that one out. I don't know if I'm deep lore enough.
I think it's Koba from the Rise of the Planet of the Apes, like the evil ape that is a little bit too unhinged kind of thing.
Cool.
Feels very similar to that.
That sounds like it's gonna be a hoot.
Was there a monster in there with giant crystal shoulder pads, DJ?
Oh, that would be cool.
I honestly can't remember. This feels like a trick question. Yes? I don't know.
I'm genuinely asking.
No, there wasn't. We didn't really see the only new monsters we saw because it was mostly what's his name. It was mostly Godzilla and Kong. Most of the new Mutos or whatever we saw, Titans were monkeys.
Okay.
And stuff. And
because
big
if
wolves.
nobody had giant crystal shoulder pads, then there's no Space Godzilla.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it seems like if anything, Godzilla's going to be powered up by a new form of something or whatever.
Pink power.
And he turns pink, yeah. It's like Dragon Ball Z.
By love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The final ingredient.
There's like a little baby Godzilla in it now, too. So that's something. Or baby Kong, excuse me.
Yeah, baby Kong. So who does Kong get down with to make that happen?
Mothra.
Godzilla, I hope. Ultraman, maybe? Or the one from that universe. What's it called, Diggins?
Jet Jaguar?
Jet Jaguar? Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Mothra's like the female, the only one of those I can think of that has been introduced in this universe.
Well, there was the Queen Muto from the first Godzilla.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Which you know, we talked about Godzilla a lot. Which character besides Godzilla or Kong are you excited to see more of from the whatever this is called, a verse?
I mean, there's tons of Godzilla characters that have not yet shown up in there that I would be excited to see.
Oh, no, Diggins, you misunderstand my question. I'm talking about which of the human characters from previous movies you're excited to see return, because these movies are full of colorful characters, you know?
Obviously, I'm excited for when Brie Larson and Tom Hiddleston finally return.
Yeah, with like makeup and stuff and old lines on their head to make it,
Yeah.
you know, clear that they're old.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty good. I bet you, DJ.
I'm hoping maybe Bryan Cranston makes a return. Is that something that we think we can make happen?
Wow.
I mean, they went to the Hollow Earth in the last one. I'm sure they could have some kind of resurrection chamber.
Or time travel. Right? I don't see why not. I do think that, like, that character also dies in a way that, like, one of those, we never see him die. He just kind of falls on a bridge as it collapses. So,
yeah.
I think he
But then we see his body getting zipped up into a body bag.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, but, I mean...
That's pretty definitive.
Yeah.
Is it?
I mean, sometimes it's just because maybe it's a sleeping bag. Maybe it was too sleepy. So they zipped him right up in one of those. It's a, Diggins, what other characters are you excited for? The question that I asked first that like you seem to actually have an interesting answer for.
I mean, of realistic ones, or like, do you want me to get wet and wild?
Both. One of each. One that you think will probably show up, and one that's like a stretch goal character.
Realistically, I would love it if they brought in Gigan. Gigan was a pretty reoccurring Godzilla antagonist with a fun design. He had like hooks for arms and a buzzsaw on his stomach.
Oh yeah, I've seen this guy. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, Gigan's fun. Gigan is another like alien monster that just like loves to kill, like Ghidorah. So he's a fun as just like a big evil villain. For a completely unrealistic answer, obviously I want them to bring back Hedorah, the big smog monster in the trippy 60s movie that a lot of people don't like.
Whoa. How do you spell that?
Hedorah.
Cool. Oh, cool. This guy looks like he fights the Power Rangers or something.
Yeah.
This looks rough, but I like it.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, so we're making this. But then the big one, besides the boys, obviously, and the big announcement, I don't know if you guys saw it, that they're making a Spider-Man noir show.
Really?
With Nick Cage?
I don't know, maybe. Nick Cage quit movies today. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
He was like, it's genuinely, this is what he said. He was like, I watched Breaking Bad with my son, and I was like, this is really good. I don't want to do movies anymore. I want to do this. He's going to do TV shows now. And this is a TV show. That's what he said.
Breaking Bad's a pretty good show.
Yeah. So hopefully they can make Breaking Bad for him, because that seems like that's what he really wants to do. And like, I don't really think Breaking Bad is one of those shows that's like itching for a reboot, but that's the pitch that I think could sell me.
Wow.
Is Nicolas Cage instead. But yeah, they got the guy who did the Punisher show. And they're gonna do a Spider-Man noir show or something. I don't know.
All right.
But no, the big trailer was the trailer for Fallout. They put out a trailer for that Fallout movie or show based on the game everybody loves from that studio that can do no wrong. What do you guys think of that?
I think it looks good, but I am unexcited.
Really?
I don't think I want to watch a post-apocalyptic procedural or even like action thing based on Fallout. I don't know what would excite me. Like, I think the thing with Fallout that I love so much is like the gameplay of it. Like, and those Bethesda games, right? You're not gonna make a Skyrim or whatever, like Elder Scrolls show. Although that actually might, you could have a good fantasy show there. But I just don't know what you do for Fallout.
I mean, the trailer was pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like it looks awesome. It's the only kind of post-apocalypse that I actually want to see in one of these. Because it's like, I think you're right about like Elder Scrolls and stuff, because it's just fantasy shit. Like it's swords and whatever. This is its own thing. Like Fallout is a very specific version of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Like I'm done with fucking Last of Us and shows like that, where everything's jury and you have a shotgun and stuff. And even though that's a good one, but like this one where it's like, ooh, you got mutants and corporations and a big strong guy in a weird suit going crazy, like that's right up my alley. That's very exciting.
Well, wait, Nando, you don't want to see the adaptation of The Last of Us Part 2?
Oh my
the one
God.
with the really ham-fisted Israel-Palestine metaphor?
Is that what's going? Oh my God, I've never even. Is that like the whole?
Neil Druckmann has gone on record saying that like the big like the faction conflicts, not like the main characters, is supposed to be like Israel-Palestine.
Well, now I do. I didn't before, but I was like itching for more of that. So yes, please. Yeah.
I will say, I'm very deep lore on Fallout. So just not to, flaunt my bona fides too much, but like Fallout's one of my favorite series. Like I love Fallout 3. I even went back and played like Fallout like 2 because I was like, what's going on here? Because I think a lot of people probably discovered it with 3 because it used to be like weird fucking 2D pixel games on PC.
And everybody likes that fucking garbage.
Yeah,
no,
bullshit.
That's for old fucking people. But like playing like Fallout New Vegas is like fucking love Fallout New Vegas. Honestly, that would be for me almost like a better pitch. Like if like we're doing a show and it's Fallout New Vegas, I'm like, yeah, sign me up. That's great. But I guess
But Bethesda loves to pretend that game doesn't exist.
Yeah, I know. Frustrating. So like not understanding like where this is going to take place. I guess like I'm searching for like more details, which is like for me, that's my own problem. Sure. But I'm like very deep lore on Fallout.
I do think it is in the classic like Western United States setting, considering one of the characters is a ghoul cowboy.
Yeah, it's fair.
I believe this is also like supposed to be canon for the game, so I don't think it's anywhere we've ever been before. I think it's its own thing, like its own setting.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know, like where have they gone? If they've done DC, right? Was that the most recent one?
Yeah.
3 was DC.
3 was DC,
4 was
okay.
Boston. New
Right.
Vegas was Vegas.
/ California. Like
it was all Vegas, but people from the New California Republic were there.
Yeah.
And 1 and 2 were both Southern California.
Yeah, so I don't know then. Well, I'm sure that I can find this out. So Florida maybe is where this one could be. They'll get
Let's
alligators.
go.
They can use some of the stuff from GTA 6.
There we
Where
go.
is the Fallout show set? Los Angeles.
Okay, so
so
they're doing LA. Okay.
yeah, Brotherhood of Steel. That's what they said.
Yeah. Like they're gonna pull out all like the classic stuff. And again, like I'm fine with it. I just like and I'm with you guys. It looks great. Like it looks really good. I just like I don't know. It's like my baby, and I feel very precious about it. And like,
well, wait, where in the timeline does it take place if it's in LA? Because like,
see, as we dig deeper, we're gonna start finding the things where it's like, oh, I don't know.
Because depending on the time, that would just be NCR territory.
Let's see.
Diggins gets it. Diggins is deep lore with me. I love you, Diggins.
It's been many years since the bombs dropped. 25 to 200. Yeah, no, it doesn't say. Yeah, I don't know, but they say the game is concurrent to well, but then there's such a big gap in some of these games. Like Fallout 4 is at 185 years after Fallout 76. So like
well, Fallout 76 is like, I think in the timeline, like the most like it happens right after. It's like the first vault they cracked open. So, you know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not a fan of those, by the way. But insofar as I just don't love having to play 80 different live service games. So, but that's a different thing.
Yeah, anyway. It doesn't say when.
Jackie from Yellow Jackets is one of the main characters in this show.
I believe she is the main character, and I think you mean whatever her name was from Army of the Dead, the main character from that. The daughter who's like, we have to go die to save my friend who will also die, and we won't even check. She survived the helicopter crash. But yeah, you're right. It is the Jackie. She's from some stuff. I feel like she's because she's apparently does the voice of Jinx in the Arcane show, which I didn't know.
Oh,
yeah. So she's all over the place. You know, video game adaptations. Diggins, what did you think of this trailer for Fallout, the show?
Like I said, I think it's pretty good. I think it's an Amazon show, so they've thrown a ton of money on it to make it look like visually really impressive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is nice for something that is supposed to be like very imaginative and like different. Jonathan Nolan apparently directed the first 3 episodes, and as someone who liked Westworld, that's interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I liked Westworld season 1.
I liked Westworld season 2 better.
Oh my God.
Have we ever I feel like I'm hearing this for the first time. I'm like, we haven't litigated this before.
Anyway, so I'm cautiously optimistic. It is still an Amazon show and produced by Bethesda. So those are both very worrying signs.
Yeah, man, those are like some big red flags.
They made Redfall, right? Or is that the other one?
No, that was Arcane, I thought.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I was hoping they could cross over.
That was Arcane.
This one's got
that game everyone loved.
Yeah,
the best game ever.
It was really good. That's why it's such a big hit. What was the one they made? They made Starfield. Is that them?
Yeah, that was Bethesda.
People like that, right?
Totally.
People knew it existed.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, because I feel like I don't think I've ever played any of these guys' games. I've never played Fallout. I've never played the other one, Skyrim. I've never played Starfield. Have they made anything else? People would know?
I mean, the answer is yes, but I'm blanking. Those is all the big IP they've squeezed every last drop of water from.
Yeah. I mean,
but,
you know.
I just don't know how much we've seen from them from like other like digital media. You know what I mean? I think that would be like the concern theoretically.
Yeah, I do think. I mean, we're not going to even say what this year was, but maybe we'll say it in the future. But I do think this year has proven that maybe you can even make a video game into a real life thing,
right? Without
completely ruining everything. So I would have had much less hope for this a year ago than I do now.
And fair enough.
But we'll see. But before we see that, speaking of things where I have less hope about it, a year ago than I do now. Or I guess I would have more hope a year ago than now. Let's talk about Disney's 100th anniversary movie, you guys. Wish. It's got Wish in it. You guys want to talk about Wish?
I would love to talk about Wish, Nando.
Yeah,
thrilled.
Yeah, me too, bro. Yeah.
All right. Well, who's the IMDb's man? Oh, is it me?
It's you.
Oh, shoot.
It's you.
All right, cool. Let's see.
Because of the disgusting act of robbery that occurred last week.
I don't even think it was robbery. I don't remember what the thing was, but I don't think it was robbery.
I bet this movie has some weird trivia. Okay. Well, you guys, as we know, the IMDb's summaries that are on IMDb.com, the summaries for games or movies, excuse me. Sometimes movies about games and sometimes TV shows. You know what? They probably have game summaries because a lot of the times those have a cast that will make it onto IMDb. The M in IMDb does not really mean anything anymore, really. It used to be the movie database, but now it's just like whatever. Like Letterboxd has really held onto this not really doing TV shows thing. I respect them for it.
Right.
But like, yeah, I'm sure you could find the voice cast for Fallout on IMDb. But as we all know, in space, there's a being named Samario, and he is not like an Italian man, plumber or anything. That's not that. It's more like he's like an ancient god kind of dude, and he's constantly, floating through the universe. And every 100,000 years, whatever, he'll find a planet. And he will colonize that planet by putting his big staff onto the Earth. And then from that staff, a bunch of like weird like runes and stuff appear, and like that makes the world and stuff. And hundreds of thousands of years later, people are able to go to space and realize that there are these runes on every planet. And if you read them, you can find out, like, and by reading them, it's clockwise and it's based on a very complicated geometric thing. You can figure out what the summaries for past, future, all the IMDb movies you could possibly imagine, and games and TV shows and whatever, TikToks probably. And this is every planet has one. So as we've gotten better at that big old telescope thing that they can make cool pictures of every so often, they've been able to see more and more IMDb summaries, which is why IMDb has become such a big website recently. And you've got all these extra summaries now. So I don't know what planet this one came from, but I will say it was a pretty acceptable planet that they used to find the IMDb summary for Wish, 2023's Wish. I can't imagine there's never been a show or movie called Wish before, right? Like this has to be the second or third one. But as far as the summary for this one is concerned, I think they more or less kind of got it. I'm surprised at certain things they left out, but also I get it. So, who wants to go first?
Well, Diggins gets to decide.
Yes, I get to decide as the person who was cruelly and viciously betrayed last week. And I've decided DJ is going to go first because I'm not sure what I'm going to say.
Oh, gosh.
Fair. So I looked it up, by the way.
Man.
There is a movie that came out
loud. Why?
There's an animated movie called Wish from a while ago, but I can't tell when this came out. And it's different than the one we just watched.
Are you sure? Maybe it's actually secretly the same movie.
That's true. It could be similar. It's about the same length. And then obviously Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, the movie Wish Dragon, Death Wish, and those movies Wish Upon. Just like this weird horror movie, that kind of campy thing people seem to like. But anyway, so yeah, there have been movies called Wish before, including one but I can't figure out what its deal was. So that's not a great sign. But yeah, so Diggins, you've elected for DJ to go first?
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
All right, DJ, let me hear your summary for 2023's Wish.
Okay. Young, aspiring sorceress Asha runs afoul of the King of Rosa after she wishes on a star and is given a power she can't possibly imagine.
Okay, Diggins?
After being rejected as the King of Rosas' apprentice, just in case the name of the country's in there and getting it right matters.
Oh God.
Asha gets more than she bargained for when she wishes on a star to help save everybody's dreams.
Oh boy. Interesting.
Oh.
I have not looked at the trivia yet,
No.
so I don't know if there's any that I really like.
Oh boy.
In fact, I don't think there's. Oh well, actually, there's a lot of hidden ones. Okay.
I mean, let's
Sounds like
Disney trivia.
sounds like we both did a bad job.
Or
Like,
did a good job, Diggins.
Kind of. I do think I have a winner. It's
Oh.
so hard because here's the thing. I think one of you got. I don't think either of you were particularly right. One of you had like a little bit more that I liked than the other one. So I do think in the end, I'm going to pick that person. But I do want to
I think the tiebreaker should be who said the name of the country correctly. And there's
well, the name of the country, spoiler alert,
it's
is
not
not
in
in,
there.
the title. So
Aha!
that does not.
right, but I'm saying that should be the tiebreaker.
I mean, that would be potentially a tiebreaker. If you hadn't used it before, maybe I'd be able to throw it in there. But now it's already been said. So I don't think I will. But
Get wrecked, Diggins.
so sorry. I see it's tricky. It really is like there are quite a few like boring trivias that are like, this one's named after this thing. So that's not very interesting. There's a lot of like, oh, this character's supposed to be like a reference to Thumper or something like that, like a lot of that, and
There is
that
a
because
lot
they
of that.
say, hey, you're Thumper, and then they so like there's a lot of the time they're not like these trivias aren't very interesting.
But the Disney references in this movie were so subtle and unobtrusive, Nando.
That's true. Oh, this is actually a pretty good one. Interesting. Okay, this is a really good trivia actually. I don't think this is impossible. I think this is like a list of things. So I think some of you could get this. Okay, so here's this. This is a great trivia. Thank you, IMDb, for lining this one up. Okay,
You're welcome.
so this is your whatever his name was, Samario, the ancient god of IMDb's. So
that's me.
Here's what we got. Ariana DeBose, this is trivia, is the 6th Academy Award winner to play the lead in a Disney animated film after 5 others. Now I'm going to say, I'm not sure, although I think this is true. All of these people were Academy Award winners before they voiced the thing that they're on this list for voicing. Except for one. I think one of them, he would get the Oscar like a year or two later. But these people have all won Oscars. And we're all the leads in, I'm going to say, animated films produced or owned or something by Disney, because they aren't all, some of them might be Pixar things.
That was going to be my question.
Yeah, I want to make that very clear. But there's 5 other people. I'll narrow it down a little bit. They're all men.
Shocker.
I mean, Ariana DeBose, I guess, said first woman. Hooray. But the other 5, no particular order. We just kind of take shots at it. I'll start with DJ, since you went first with the summaries. You want to take a guess at one of them?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's one of them that it's pretty out there. Question: did they win the Oscar? Does it matter when they won the Oscar?
It does not, because, like I said, I'm pretty sure one of these would go on to win the Oscar 2 years later.
Okay, well,
but the rest of them, I think, won it before.
I'm gonna go with my boy, Mr. Tommy Hanks.
Tom Hanks, that's correct. He did win. He won an Oscar. I don't know what for. Probably Turner and Hooch, but whatever he did, he won that, and then he was in Toy Story.
Has he won more than one? I feel like he's like got to be a multiple.
He's definitely gotten nominated quite a few times. I don't know. Elvis, did he win for Elvis?
No.
You sure? Wow, I thought the Nope snub was bad, but now this.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, Castaway
and the year
or
before
something like
Philadelphia.
That. Oh, yeah, right. Sure. So Philadelphia, he would have won before, because it was 94?
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a year before Toy Story.
Yeah.
Although that is not the person who I was like, I'm pretty sure they would win after. But yeah, Diggins, you want to take a shot at another one?
Let me think. I'm not sure if he ever won an Oscar, but I'm going to go with Monsieur Mel Gibson.
Oh, that's a good one, but incorrect. Damn. I will say, I don't know if he would count as the lead in Pocahontas.
I wasn't sure either, but he was the next biggest profile person I could think of.
No, yeah, it's a good guess. I don't know. I also don't know if he's won an Oscar, but I wouldn't be surprised. He's definitely gotten nominated for probably I wouldn't be surprised if he had a producer Oscar, hanging around or something. But
didn't say it was for acting.
It doesn't. No, one of them definitely isn't. And I don't know about that other one. There's 2 that I'm like, I don't think that's an acting Oscar. But there's two that are, and two that are actors that we both know. So DJ, I'm going to say this: if you can get the other two that I think are pretty gettable, you can definitively win the summary as well.
Oof.
And you'll do it one at a time still.
Jesus.
And if you want to get one of the weird ones too, you're welcome to. But I think there's two that I would expect maybe you guys will get.
All right. Well, and when we're going animated, how animated is it? Like full animated? Like
I would assume these are all movies that are fully enough animated. Like none of them are Roger Rabbit or something.
All right. Well, all right. I was gonna say Danny Elfman.
Oh, I would say that would count. He is not listed here. But is that
really?
That is a Disney movie,
Well,
and I'm sure he's won an Oscar, right?
He didn't voice that character.
That's true.
He sang that character.
Yeah, but that's not voicing. That's
yeah.
different.
I don't think that counts for that. How about you, Diggins? You want to take another shot at this?
I'm thinking. God, who else? Who else is a lead character?
And remember, we're not picking people that will probably win an Oscar next year. Otherwise, Chris Pratt for Garfield would obviously be in play.
Yes, obviously.
But it's not yet.
No. I'm aware.
That have already won.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Who else is a big name actor?
They're pretty big too. Like they're people. I would say
they're all the lead in their movie.
The other four people besides Tom Hanks, including Tom Hanks, are all the lead in their movie. Yeah.
Okay.
And pretty definitively.
So not Robin Williams. Got it.
No, not Robin Williams. That's a good guess. Though.
That wasn't my guess because that was me ruling it out for him not being the lead.
Fair.
And they're all men.
That's right.
So what Disney movies have male leads? Because that does change things a little.
That's right.
I have two guesses.
Well, hold on. It's my turn. So
I have three
hold
guesses.
your dang horses.
Hold those horses.
Wait, while Diggins thinks, can I ask for a question?
Absolutely.
It is the lead, not support, like the lead.
Yes. All four of these that are left, including, because I would say Tom Hanks is maybe the one you could argue, because it's like,
no,
I don't know. Him and Tim Allen are pretty much like, I do think Tom Hanks is the lead, but I think that's closer than any of the rest of these to like a co-lead situation.
Oh, all right. Fair enough.
Oh God, who voices Marlin? I'm pretty sure he won one. What's his fucking name? Albert Brooks? Is that it?
I think that's not that person's name, but you're close. It might be
no,
that.
He's right.
Okay, I don't think that person's won an Oscar.
Really?
But you're right. That is Albert Brooks.
Any relation to Mel Brooks?
Maybe. He's probably been in something before. He was in the Simpsons movie. No,
you know he's related to? He's related to Super Dave Osborne.
Who's that?
Bob Einstein.
Who's that?
Who's no longer with us from Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Oh, the surrogate from Arrested Development.
Yeah.
So as far as I could tell, he has not won any Academy Awards.
Birth name, by the way, Albert Einstein.
Yeah, you got.
Oh my God! I just realized who one of them is, and I'm a fucking idiot. But
well, DJ, do you want to take a shot at one of them?
Well, yeah. I think maybe Diggins and I landed on it exactly the same time, but is it Jamie Foxx?
Jamie Foxx is one of them. That's right, for Soul 2020. Is
that who you had, Diggins?
Soul.
No, it was something else.
Okay. Well, Diggins, do you want to try another one?
I was gonna say, has Owen Wilson won Cars?
No, he has not won.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Can I give my other one?
I mean, once they start giving Oscars for Loki, then we'll be set. What's your other one, DJ?
Craig T. Nelson?
No, that's an interesting guess. I'm going to guess you guys won't get the rest of these. Although, I don't know. I think it's possible.
Wait. I want a hint on maybe the movie.
Okay. Yeah. So there's one movie from like olden times that I may have seen this movie. Like it's I recognize the name of it, but it's not a super relevant movie. There's one from, and then both of the other two are from the 20 aughts, whatever you'd call that.
Thousands.
Yeah. One of them is a movie we don't think about too much with a very famous voice actor. The other one is a movie we think about plenty with a voice actor you could not name in a million years.
Well, I'm not going to get that one.
Yeah, that one I think is out of the question. So it's the one that you don't
Okay.
think about too much that has a famous voice actor at the lead of it that I think is the one you could get. And by famous voice actor, I mean famous actor. I wouldn't say known for voice acting.
Oh man, is it one of those like? Is it Chicken Little?
No, it's a good guess. Zach Braff. I mean, Zach Braff could have won. I wouldn't be shocked if he won something for Garden State, something like that. Yeah, but no, he is not. It's not him. DJ, you want to take another guess?
Aughts movie we think about all the time?
No, aughts movie we don't think about all the time. I'll tell you the one we think about all the time.
Oh.
The guy that does the voices of Wall-E is a sound engineer who has many Oscars.
Oh, well, yeah, no, I
His
never
name is
would have
Ben
gotten that.
Burt. Yeah, nobody
cheating.
was going to get that, but it was on the list. But the other one is a movie we don't think about very much with an actor whose name we all know.
I think I might know what that one is, but it's CJ's turn.
No, did I win?
We'll see. Diggins?
What?
Well, it's DJ's turn. He gets to go.
It sounded like you would, but yeah, give it a guess.
A movie we don't think about. When did Meet the Robinsons come out?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like? Because I don't know that voice actors from Meet the Robinsons. Like, is it Meet the Robinsons?
It is not. So
Okay.
I'm going to count that as your guess.
That's why I have Diggins go.
Is it Atlantis, the Lost Empire?
Ooh.
No, it's also not Michael J. Fox. Although I wonder if he has an Oscar. It is. All right, so I'm going to call it. It is the lead actor in 2003's Brother Bear, Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh my God.
That's dumb.
I forgot he was in Brother Bear.
I had no idea. The other one, Bing Crosby for The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad in 1949.
Yeah, that one. Never.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Diggins had that one as like a maybe this
Little
old
back
person,
pocket,
you know,
little,
like just throwing out some old names. That could be a strategy that might have won.
If you just said Bing Crosby, just, never
I'm familiar with old movies, but I actually haven't watched much old Disney.
Yeah.
Because you're not racist, so.
That's true.
Yep, that's it. That's the reason.
Or he's a racist who got on the train too late and now you can't watch him anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
You know,
yeah,
those people are also out of luck. I'm going to say Diggins wins it.
Yeah.
What?
So DJ, if you had swept it, I think I would have given it to you. But Diggins, okay. So here's the summary, and this is 10 years ago we actually did the summary, so no one will remember which one was closer. But it is a young girl named Asha. A young girl named Asha wishes on a star and gets a more direct answer than she bargained for when a troublemaking star comes down from the sky to join her. So DJ called Asha young, which I liked. Said wishes on a star, but Diggins used the phrase more than she bargained for.
Wow.
And
I also said wishes on a star.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure. You said that too. You didn't call Asha young. You called her a, whatever. You used her job title, which I get. And you both mentioned Magnifico, which was not part of it. And neither was the name of the city, state, or whatever this is.
Wow.
But yeah, so that's
okay.
right.
I'm sorry. What was the point of the tiebreaker then?
If you crushed it, and by crushed it, I would have said got all three of the ones that I think were gettable. I would have given it to you.
Oh, Joaquin Phoenix was not gettable. Diggins wasn't getting
It's
Joaquin
super
Phoenix.
gettable. Have you seen Brother Bear? I've never seen it.
I've never seen it either.
It has a ride, right? At like California
I haven't
Adventure.
seen Chicken Little either, but I said it.
Never seen Chicken Little? It's not very good. But Meet the Robinsons is pretty good.
How's it?
Meet the Robinsons is good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna text Michelle. I'm gonna ask her if Brother Bear has a ride, and if it does, I lose.
Wait,
if it doesn't, I win.
Well, first of all,
all right. Obviously, that's
this.
fair. No. So Brother Bear.
How is that the metric?
So I don't think this is true anymore because I think the ride has been taken out, but I believe it used to. Redwood Creek Challenge Trail was part of something.
No, that's like for Up.
It got changed in 2011.
Oh,
the
they
Brother
made
Bear
it from Brother Bear
theming was
to
stripped
Up.
away. Yeah, but that's why I'm like, that was a thing. Like they were like Brother Bear, the next big thing. And there was even parts of this movie where I'm like, were they referencing Brother Bear? And an answer is no. They're referencing something else. But I'm like, they could have referenced Brother Bear if they wanted.
All right. Hear me out. Because I will take this L, unless, because I think this is a huge miscarriage of justice, of injustice. huge.
I think finally the record is being corrected. Finally, we have decided to not perpetuate the injustices of the past.
All right, well, maybe you two can hear me out because this is a democratically elected podcast, so I think it's fair that I get my time before I'm expelled, like a certain congressman who may or may not have been expelled recently.
So you know what? You guys will soon find DJ on Cameo.
Yeah.
You take that inflatable down, Diggins. I knew that was you.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna DM the unbiased Supreme Court Justice Roger of the podcast
And ask
DJ,
him what?
Why are you acting like you get to adjudicate this?
and I'm gonna explain to him the situation. And then if he says that what happened was wrong, then I win. But if he says what happens is fine, then Diggins wins.
No, I reject this.
I also reject this because we got to move on. But also, I know why you're doing this. It's because as much as you love to wish, you don't want to recount its many surprises and the twists and turns and spoil it for our fine listeners. But as the loser, it is your job to explain what happened in Wish.
DJ, for once, you are the most qualified to do so. Also,
That's true. Diggins forgot all this stuff.
I watched this movie like a week and a half ago.
That's true. I did see it today. That's why Nando picked me. Okay.
Yep,
Well, all
it.
right. So I lose. I understand. However, I want Supreme Court Justice Roger to make a ruling because he needs to make a ruling.
Right. His ruling is only legally binding if he rules in favor of me. If he rules in favor of you, then it's a null ruling.
I do not accept this. I cannot be clear enough that I do not accept this.
Nando, what's your vote?
I mean, I'm going to say, I think if he rules in favor of DJ, then it will be up in the air or something. But
It'll be like the 2000 election. It will always have an asterisk next to it, but I did win.
I don't feel great about it.
Guys, I don't think you know how this works, but if he says something, like, that's law. There's no, like, you'll get to vote on it. So whatever he says is what happens. So
no, DJ, actually, while you were sick with the world's most famous coronavirus, Nando and I got together, and with our 2/3 majority, which is all you need, we changed the podcast constitution.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Mm-hmm. How dare you?
Has John Travolta never won an Oscar?
I don't think so.
Remember he was in that movie Bolt, where his little dog.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
All right, well, I'm going to summarize this movie, but you two will be hearing from my lawyer. I mean, my Supreme Court Justice. I mean, the Supreme Court Justice. You'll be hearing from him.
Wow.
Goodness. All right. Okay, it's a movie. It's called Wish. It's, what do we got? It takes place in a city on the Mediterranean that is all the ethnicities. It's every ethnicity. It's mashed into one big city state, but it is on the Mediterranean. That one's called out. So a long, long time ago in a galaxy far away, there was a guy, and he's Chris Pine. But he's animated, and he's handsome, and he's an amalgamation of, like, every race.
What? Wow. He's handsome?
Yeah. DJ doesn't think Chris Pine's handsome. Yeah. So we're finding out right now.
No, I'm saying he is handsome. Wait, what?
Yeah, he's handsome.
You said that he's Chris Pine, but he's animated and handsome.
Yeah. If you said he's Steve Buscemi, but he's animated and he looks like Chris Pine, I'd be like, okay, that explains it.
I see. Yeah, I see where the confusion goes from now. Mm-hmm. So listen, guys, I told you about the brain fog. I had the world's most famous coronavirus. It's not my fault. And Diggins, if you correct me again, I'm going to make you do it. I'm going to make you do the stupid summary.
I don't accept this premise either. I will correct you more.
I've had it up to here with you people.
Oh yeah, they put out a Furiosa trailer. We didn't talk about that. That was pretty good, wasn't it?
It's one of the good ones.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
All right. Anyway.
Oh my God. So it's Chris Pine. He's also handsome and animated, and all of the races put into one guy. And he has the ability to
size, but all right.
It is interesting that he is such, like, he's quite white, you know, in real life. It's interesting they gave him a darker complexion in the movie. I was also kind of curious where that was going, if that was just a choice.
I guess I'm not crazy.
Very rarely you see that.
But it's Chris Pine.
Yeah, but it's Chris Pine. Like, we know what Chris Pine looks like.
Yeah.
If I didn't know who that guy was, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. But
Yeah, just make Chris Pine.
I've seen Chris Pine.
Why?
I've seen him do Prince before in Disney things.
He's not playing Chris Pine. He's playing a fictional character.
I'm just saying. All right, I guess you want to.
Chris Pine.
I don't know. Does Tom Hanks look like a cartoon cowboy?
I mean, I would be
he's
confused if they made him a dark-skinned cartoon cowboy. I'd be like, that's a choice. I'm just saying. I agree. I'm not. It wasn't a big deal for me, but I was like, huh, okay.
Yeah, no,
we're doing this. Yeah.
You just notice it. That's all I'm saying. You notice it. Nando gets it.
I get it.
Nando gets it. Actually, you know what, Nando? Diggins lost, right? He has to pick up the rest of this.
No, he's still right.
Damn it.
Yeah.
You can't blame a guy for trying. Come on now. All right.
You did okay. Like, you could have won it. I
know. Yeah. I'm so salty. It was the tiebreaker. Just declare me the loser next time. Okay. So, Chris Pine, his name is Magnifico, by the way. Great name. But I'm going to call him Chris Pine. He has special powers, and he was able to, on this lovely plot of land, like, make wishes come true. Like, you give him your wish, and then he makes it come true for real. And then people heard about this and like, oh my God, this is amazing. So then basically an entire kingdom was built around this guy and him doing this thing. But nowadays, what he does is he doesn't do your wish full on like your wish. What he does is he takes your wish and then puts it in the sky and then holds on to it, but you forget what it was. But every year he like makes one wish come true. It's like a big ceremony. And now he's going to take on an apprentice. It's very important. So there's this girl, Asha. She's just a girl. She's just a girl. That's right. Yeah. That's the first song they do. I'm just a girl. Yep.
Also, I don't want to butt in too much, but in his song, King Magnifico does say he granted multiple wishes that year. It isn't clear how often they have this ceremony, but it is something that like, I think he says like he granted 17 wishes last year or something in his song.
Yeah, it appears to not be like on a fixed schedule. Just every once in a while he calls for one of these ceremonies.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. So, again, keep correcting me. This is great.
Yep.
I think we're doing super well.
Also, I don't know if he has magic powers. I'm pretty sure he became a sorcerer. Like he learned sorcery.
Yeah, he learned. He earned those magic powers.
But he has them. He has magic powers.
Yes. The way you described it, it kind of seems like he was born with them, but he got them.
And he wasn't born with it. It was Maybelline.
It was Maybelline. And that hair, I mean, yeah.
This is insane. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
You wish you were. I mean, maybe crazy pills is what cures the world's most famous coronavirus,
That's true. If it does, then I'm taking them.
If it's not the horsey worm, it must be crazy pills.
Horse worms are what makes crazy. So ergo, horsey wormer is crazy pills. But anyway, yeah. So King Magnifico. Does he have a first name? I was wondering about this.
I think it's the whole thing. It's King Magnifico.
I'm Magnifico. Okay. I'll explain why as we go.
I think, if anything, Magnifico is his first name because she's not Queen Magnifico.
That's true.
That's true. So he's an informal king. Well, no, I guess that's how it goes. It's King Charles.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So, yeah. They don't have last names. They're just royalty. Okay, so King Magnifico sometimes grants wishes, but most of them he hoards. And the reason is it's just for power. It's just for power. So there's a girl, Asha, and first song, she's just a girl. Mm-hmm. She has friends, and they're the seven dwarves. Like, not really, but yes. We'll get into it at some point. Just for now, imagine the seven dwarves are her best friends. I think it's easier that way.
Imagine a worse version of the seven dwarves, Less fun somehow.
Imagine a version of the seven dwarves that are only on screen for 20 combined minutes.
Yeah.
So they're her friends, and Magnifico's trying out people to be apprentice, and she's gonna do a tryout, and she's nervous, and there's a song, maybe it doesn't matter. So she goes to be the apprentice. And
do you remember what her job is currently?
I honestly
such a dumb job, but it makes so much sense for a movie like this.
She's a tour guide.
She is a tour guide. So she has the song that what's her name does in Encanto, where she just explains what's going on in town, but it's her job.
But a much worse version.
With a flag in her hand. So it's like, oh, that's why in universe she's singing about the town.
Just everything about it's worse, but we'll
everything about it's worse.
Definitely get to that. Okay. So she's a tour guide, but she wants to be an apprentice. So she does the interview, and she essentially learns that Magnifico reveals, hey, by the way, I'm evil. I only grant the wishes that I want that are pretty low stakes because I'm worried if someone I forgot about her grandfather. Doesn't matter. I'll get to
her
it.
grandpa, the guy from Titanic, is old. 100 years old.
And honestly, pretty friggin' spry for a 100-year-old.
Yeah. Like, I feel like we've done enough Disney movies that I know what a Disney 100-year-old looks like. And it's like that guy that Cusco kicks out of the window in the beginning of Emperor's New Groove. Like, this guy could...
In Coco.
Or Coco, that's right, yeah. I don't know how this guy... I mean, maybe it's just the magic. I don't know. Maybe Magnifico radiates magic. I mean, I guess there is a person in the movie, we see their wish granted, and their wish was to be a really sick hairstylist. Yeah, so maybe there's somebody who's that, but for like, yeah, that's what it was. But maybe there's someone like that for like anti-aging creams and stuff.
And they just, you got to pay them a lot of money though.
Oh yeah. How does money work in Roses? Who knows? It's not clear.
So just to be clear, there is a Asa has a grandfather, right?
That's right. And a mother. Right?
And a mother.
But her dad died when she was young, I think is what we're told.
Yeah.
He was killed by Elsa, I think. They don't say this, but yeah, the great cold killed him. That would be great.
It always does.
Yeah.
So where was it going?
So he says he's evil, and then Asha goes home.
Right. So sorry. You give the wish, and then you forget the wish. So we learn that her grandfather's wish was to, like, inspire the next generation, and fucking King Magnifico was like, inspire him to what? Fucking think. So can't have that. Because he's so evil. So she's like, fuck, you're evil. That's terrible. So she runs out, tells her grandfather the whole deal, and his grandfather's like, you dick, you told me my wish?
Yeah.
And it'll never come true? Why would you do that? So then Asa gets upset.
Yeah, Asa isn't really clear. She's like, no, Grandpa, it's in a ball in his attic. Like, if we go get it, you can have it.
Yeah, right.
I'm not just like, this isn't his concept anymore. It's a little thing.
Yeah.
So this is good to know what it is.
Yeah, wishes are tangible.
Yeah. We have to storm the castle.
You gave it to him
now.
and he grants him?
Yeah. So stupid.
So she runs outside and sings and cries, and she wishes on a fucking star, like how Disney does.
Mm-hmm. Whoa. Her dad used to, because he was a philosopher. Remember that?
Right.
And he seemed to have some sort of star-based philosophy that he has passed on to Asha.
So he was an astrologer.
Like, you'd think so, right? But that's not how it's described.
No, Nando. Not an astronomer.
Oh, you're saying
astrologer.
Oh, maybe, yeah. I guess that is what it is. It's weird. Yeah, because he does seem like one of those people that would talk about the universe a lot. Be like, this is what the universe wants, Asha. Because the later explanation for, like, what magic is fits into what that kind of worldview would create.
That's true. It's science rules all.
Yeah.
Okay, so she screams at a star via song, and Luma from Super Mario Galaxy comes down, and he's like, hey, I'm here to help. Grant all your wishes. So Luma flies around, sprinkles dust on everything, and starts talking. The trees, the mushrooms, rabbits, her goat, voiced by Alan Tudyk. Mm-hmm. They can all talk now, because that's a wish, I guess. I don't know. That's their wish to talk. Mushrooms wish to talk.
Yep. Everything that can't talk wishes to talk.
Yeah.
Except for, I guess, like the blades of grass. Because, like, there were other things that would have gotten... And their wish was just, like, immortality or something. And they can never be cut down. But, yeah. Anything that could have a face has a wish to talk. Okay.
So, now my world's most famous coronavirus is kicking in. And I know things happen. But, so... that all the whole thing with the sky happens, and then Magnifico is like, oh my god, this means that something happened. Like, he knows that because there was sky bullshit, that means that people will be fucking around. So he's like, hey, I need y'all to go find out who messed around, and then, you know, justice will happen. So because Asha's an idiot, she shows the Luma to the 7 dwarves, shows the magic powers, and then
Oh yeah, we have to talk about one of the 7 dwarfs though.
yeah, her friend Sleepy, who is like Sleepy but big and buff because it's a person. Sleepy. Oh, so when in this kingdom you grow up, when you're 18, you give your wish. He's the only one of the dwarves who turned 18, so he gave up his wish. So he wants to take the deal from Magnifico that you'll get your wish if you turn Asha in. So he turns
DJ,
Asha in.
I was gonna say, we don't learn that until much later when we find out that he did it.
Yeah, because they sneak Asha into the thing while Magnifico is doing this speech that gives this bounty into existence.
But you know immediately because he's all fucking guilty.
Because he's the only character that has given a wish, and that is the incentive that Magnifico is using to catch Asha, of course.
Like, I know it's a reveal, but it's not a reveal.
And really conveniently, his wish is something that the knight can use to catch Asha. Like, sick as hell for you,
that
Magnifico.
was a surprise.
Well, how do we even know that was actually his wish, right?
That's
like,
true.
We only have Magnifico's word to go by.
I mean, I feel like if he puts, like, I would imagine your sphere is only compatible with you, but maybe not. Maybe he could just put somebody else's wish into you. I don't know.
So, okay. He betrays Asha.
Well, DJ, you're
Diggins, you saw this movie 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And
what is going on right now?
An hour ago. I don't know, but you're skipping over the part where she sneaks in and steals the wishes.
Oh, right. She sneaks in and steals the wishes.
There you go.
That's about it.
Yeah, I don't remember what she does with them.
Well, at the end, she like spills them everywhere.
Well, but they're...
She only steals her grandpa's and her mom's, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
And she goes and gives it back to them, and they go off to escape, but she's like, I still gotta do stuff.
Right.
But doesn't the mom become sad because he like crushes her, Magnifico crushes her wish, and the mom is like, oh God, I'm sad.
Magnifico shows up at their house and crushes it.
No.
Doesn't he?
I don't...
I'm pretty sure Magnifico goes to their house.
Yeah.
He does go to their house. I don't remember if he crushes her wish in front of her.
I believe he does. And she goes, I have depression now. And then you're like, all right, movie, if that's what we're doing.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. But that happens after she steals her grandpa's wish back.
That's right. Yeah. She brings those 2 wishes back home, and then Magnifico makes it to her house. But then because the goat can commune with the animals, they're able to outrun them on horses.
Tracks.
Yeah.
Yes. So, right. So they flee because the sadness bad. So
Magnifico does something at this point.
Oh yeah. So now he starts figuring out that if he eats wishes, he gets strong. I'm strong.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, actually, now I eat all wishes, and now I'm green, and now I'm evil.
And he also opened the evil book he has for no reason.
Right. And it's like gives him evil powers, but once you do it, it's like, I guess it's like the unforgivable curses from Harry Potter. It's like, once you do that, it's game over, kid.
Yeah, but it turns out that's just totally a false thing in Harry Potter, and you can just do them and it's fine.
That's true.
And in this, it's like kind of that, but also it does seem like it's all things that he kind of already felt before. Like, it's weird.
We already had a whole song before he opened the book about how he's secretly really entitled and mean and like kind of evil. So like, I don't really understand why the book has to have influence also.
Listen, scene to scene, Magnifico keeps getting head injuries or something and developing new and losing new personality traits. So it's hard to track everything he wants and feels, but at this point, he gets green, which is like kind of the most consistently he's characterized throughout the movie. And he gets green and his hair's a little tousled. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
How you know, like something's up with this fella.
So this is the point where Asha comes back to stop him. And this is where we find out about Sleepy.
Right.
Right. So he's like, and yes, my friend, come up. Sleepy, and I will grant your wish to be the most loyal knight ever to me. And it seems like he gets his wish, but then he's like corrupted by Magnifico using his green power.
Yeah.
So now he's like a loyal knight to Magnifico, but also evil. I'm honestly not sure what the change in him was until we find out the other thing later. But like at this moment, I'm like, well, isn't this what he wanted?
It's also it's hard to tell because he had no personality beforehand. So
he's sleepy. That's his personality.
I mean, his wish was basically, well, it's weird because his wish was like, I would like to be one of your police, sir. And then, he becomes
you can't trust
a loyal.
anyone who wants to be a cop.
Exactly, he becomes a loyal policeman, and he finds out that was his whole wish, and then he's like, oh right, okay, so yeah, I'm gonna turn on everybody now. I want more of the power, please. It's weird. He doesn't matter. He barely shows up again. He's got one more thing he does.
There's like one thing.
Yeah.
So, the queen also is there. So there's like a song where the 6 remaining dwarves and Asha are like, we must stop the king. And the queen's like, I help too now.
Dude. Oh my God. This song.
that song was a crime against everything.
Well, hold on. Let's not tip our hands too far.
So they come up with the plan. What's the plan, DJ?
Okay. So we're gonna tell the king to go like into the woods to find.
If only Chris Pine as the prince. Man, you've seen this can work.
We're gonna tell him that Asha and the star, because he wants the star. That's his whole thing. He wants the star. Are in the forest, and then you'll go into the forest and like I don't know, defeat him or whatever. Like get him away from the wishes so he can't like eat more wishes.
Yeah,
they don't expect her to defeat him. It's just a distraction.
Yeah,
right.
But the little star does give her a magic wand that she can use for something.
Yeah.
And then she also gets a little hood like the fairy godmother.
That's right. Oh, okay.
And then meanwhile, the 6 dwarves plus the goat will like free the wishes. I think that's like the gambit.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
There's like it's a dome ceiling or something, and they just have to open up the convertible roof on the tower.
Yeah, architecturally speaking, it's the worst roof you could imagine. But anyway, whatever. Mostly nitpicking.
Yeah, it's to dock with the other tower, like the Howl's Moving Castle or something. I don't know what the point of this is.
So the king is like, all right, I'll go. And he goes into the woods, and Asha's there. And oh no, but it's not the king, actually. It was Sleepy, who looked like the king, but the king knew that the queen was lying and was like, you fool, the king's there. He's going to fuck shit up. And then they're like, oh no, that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
As they do. So, now it's looking real bad.
No, I'm also really hard pressed to remember what happens at the end of this, besides he does bad things and then he gets turned into a mirror or something. Like they have like a fight kind of, right? Or something.
Barely. So right back in the city, Asha defeats the Sleepy with the power of magic. And goes back to the city.
Right, and the animals from earlier. I forgot about that. Brother Bear, Joaquin Phoenix, Joker.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix.
Dances down the stairs.
Goes back to the city, and then the king is just like winning. Like he ties the whole city up in like green vines.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, like Sleeping Beauty.
And then Asha's like, "Nah, you can't." And then he's like, "No, you're all tied up in vines. I win." And then they start singing about.
He's stuck the star in his staff wand thing.
Right. So
he has all the star power also.
He wins, just like in Mario.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in Mario Party for sure.
So now, because he has all the power, he just wins. But no, wait, just kidding. They sing about freedom. And then he loses, and the staff shatters, and the star's free, and they get all their wishes. And by getting their wishes, they remember what they were, and they like, oh right, I have the power to make my own wish come true.
Yeah, I mean, like, man, I cannot remember what song did they sing? One of the ones from earlier, or is it just some random song?
I think it's just a reprise. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a reprise of the one she shouts at the star.
First right, her "I Want" song. Yeah.
It's the one from the trailers too. If you see the trailer, it's that song.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that movie. And if I missed anything, I don't care because I actually won this, but it's fine.
Did you? I think you'll find the record says otherwise.
Let's see what Supreme Court Justice Roger has to say.
In the full knowledge that his ruling is non-binding.
Wow,
we'll see about that.
Wow,
we'll see who changes back the Constitution.
You're just gonna get a gag order or something by the end of the next podcast.
Yeah, the gag order is going to be the world's most famous coronavirus. That's going to be the gag order.
That's true. Diggins is the winner. You get to tell us what you thought of Wish. Agrees. Yeah.
So before I went to see Wish, the reviews were not so hot. It wasn't doing super well at the box office. And my expectations were, not super high as a result. And I watched it and I was like, this isn't actively bad for the most part. It's just deeply uninteresting. It feels very rote in a lot of ways. Like all the plot points feel perfunctory. Like they just were hitting beats without really thinking about why you got to hit those beats and like what makes people care about them. So we get to like what should be like big emotional moments for Asha's character, but like they're not very well motivated, and I don't care about any other character in the entire movie because they all get 10 seconds of development at most. So it just doesn't really work very well. And it just feels like this messy sketch of a movie that they never really finished like making. Obviously they finished the effects, but like the writing, they never finished writing the movie. It's all just rough draft. And so that made me not really care very much about it. And also the songs, unlike some people that we may or may not be hearing from on this podcast, I don't think most of the songs are bad, but I do think that they're very forgettable. Like, I don't think I could hum the tune to a single one of them now, which is pretty bad for a Disney movie, which often their long-term viability as pop culture products depends on the catchiness of their songs.
You don't think in a couple of years kids are all going to be singing What If I Knew What I Know Now? I'm pretty sure that's going to be the next Bruno or something. That's like, kids are all going to be like, I wouldn't have trusted you, the wizard, if I knew that I was a guy or whatever. I already forgot the lyrics of that one too.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's a really
that was
song.
More than I remembered of it. Yeah. But no, when you said that, I just thought of the song from the Beetlejuice Broadway show because that left more of an impression on me.
Yeah.
It's not a very good movie. It's not a very memorable one. This is easily wait till Disney Plus if you feel like you got to watch it. Because I don't know. I will say, to say a positive thing about it, I didn't like the look of it in trailers. I think in the actual film it worked better than I was expecting. The sort of like 2D, 3D-ish sort of thing it had going on. I think in the movie that look more or less works, other than a few like jarring moments, and so that turned out better than I thought it would. But overall, very mid movie, forgettable, not that interesting, just a real letdown for like what was supposed to be a big anniversary movie for Disney. What about you, DJ? As the undisputed, everyone agrees loser, you get to say your thoughts next.
Hey, listen. All right, you can be very clear. I'm going to start with a quote from my wife, Michelle, who...
Sorry for who?
Oh, come on, DJ.
Sorry.
We've done this enough.
My wife.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Michelle. It's really very clear on this. So for those who don't know, her bona fides, right? She's a bona fide Disney person. And so this is a direct quote from her. I'm a Disney person, and for me, the Disney references were too much. I think this movie's an abomination. I think this movie
wow
is unconscionable. I think it's terrible. It's so like annoying. Is that the right word I should be using to describe this shit stain of a movie? Is like annoying. I hate everything about it. Actually, that's not true. Diggins is right about the animation. The animation isn't too bad. Besides that, I hate the songs. I hate the characters. I hate everyone's voice except for Chris Pine's and Alan Tudyk's like asterisks a little bit. I thought the story is so bad. I think this movie is like nearly unintelligible. I think it's really bad. I think Disney has made a horrible mistake. I can't believe you've done this. It's it's so. It is all the things Diggins said in terms of being uninteresting, but it's also just so mind-numbingly like shit. It's so shitty.
Well, CJ, is it better or worse than the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes?
This is worse. This is worse.
I'll allow it.
I more enjoyed my experience with the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. This I thought was unwatchable. I really did think the music was terrible, like capital T, terrible. Yeah, I hated the plot. I hated the story. And I'll give it one more compliment. It is a true tight 90.
It is a tight 90.
Like, it didn't drag or felt too long. I just hated every moment of it. But it was a short amount of time I was hating every moment of it. I do not like this movie. I thought every Disney reference was stupid and dumb. I hate it. The one, I'll give you one that just stood out to me that I'm like, you guys need to fucking stop. So Chris Pine is nomming on all the wishes because it makes him strong. And there's a ball that has the silhouette of Peter Pan flying in it. And he's like, oh, what's your wish, Fantasyland? How about Neverland? And then he like eats it and it's like, go to Peter Pan. And then later they use a second Peter Pan reference. You can't do that. You can't double dip references. It's just lazy. It's 100 years, you bitches. Fucking do some deep esoteric ones. I'm so mad at this
What
movie.
else are they supposed to do, DJ? Release a Peter Pan movie this year? That's impossible. They can't do that. It's the law.
Yeah, not after Pan. We're not allowed anymore.
Yeah, they can't have done that.
So I hated this movie with a fiery, burning, hell-like passion. And I thought it was worse than boring. I thought it was offensive. And maybe it's the Disney adult in me that hated it so much and found it more than boring. And you know what? No, because you know what? If there was no music, I would have given it middling. But for me, the music I just thought was just terrible. Terrible. So that is my piece. I will lay down my microphone and I will give it to Nando.
Yeah, I also didn't really like this movie. I think it's like pretty not good. As like a movie and as a Disney thing. First of all, as a movie, it's not very good. It doesn't make any sense. None of it works. None of the characters. It feels very much. I know we use this insult a lot, and I think it's valid. But like certain parts of this do feel like AI came up with them. Like Magnifico's whole deal, Asha's whole deal, how the like things like the whole Rosas, like the concept of this city. Each of her friends and kind of what they none of it has any like, man, I don't know what happened to the people that made Encanto. Like, we got to get them. We got to make sure they're okay, you know?
Yeah.
Because this is like the opposite of Encanto, or it really is like if you took Encanto and just shook it. So all the fun stuff came off and you just have this, you know, because it's like she wants to do a thing because she wants to have a dream and she's going to be a sorcerer because she wants to. She doesn't do magic. And like, she doesn't seem to have any aptitude for that, but she's like, I want to be his apprentice. And it's just so, but also like, I'm with DJ on the songs not working either. I think the songs are somewhat catchy. I think like the, that main Wish song, I think is okay. In terms of just like kind of, you said it and I like remembered kind of the tune. I think Chris Pine's villain song is also kind of catchy. But in terms of being like a song,
I thought that was one of the worst ones.
Well, I think in terms of being about something, it's really terrible. And like, it really like kind of explains a lot of the problems with this movie in that like they did go out of their way to be like, we cast a big actor as a villain. We haven't had a villain in a while. It's been a lot of guys that are like, the island is your feelings or whatever. And like, that's, you know, the villain in Moana. And like, it's, you know, the generations of Encanto family stuff. Like, but this one, it was like, it's a guy and he's got a staff and he's going to do magic and shoot at you. So giving him a song, it's like, that's probably going to be pretty good. And just his whole deal should be pretty memorable. But
you know what? Sorry, you just reminded me of another problem I have with this movie that I wanted to say. Which is a criticism of the songs, so it fits in with what you're saying here. The song lyrics are really generic.
They're nonsense.
Like AI made them?
Yes! Genuinely. So like, I don't want to spend too much time on this because I do want to get to this later, but like there are lines in his song that I'm like, this seems like it was fed through a language translator. Like it was written in another language and sent like, because it just doesn't make sense. Like his song starts with, I would give the shirt off Benito's back if you said you needed that. Who's Benito? It's not you. So you can't give the shirt off someone else's back? But then the next thing he says is something where
I think
he
that's
would.
the joke, Nando. Is
But
that
then the nice thing is he says he would give you something of his if you needed it. The next example isn't incongruent. Like there's no continuity. It's just madness. Like, yeah, I mean, I've heard people pick at a lot of the lines. One of the lines that really sucks in her I Want song, I think this is from the Schaeferless video on this, is I'll throw my, oh God, I already forgot. Throw my caution to the warning sign. That's not the phrase. Throw your caution to the wind, ignore the warning signs. But you don't do both. Like, and listen, if someone did write this in another language and brought it over that's impressive, I guess. Some of it works. But like, man, it is so, comparing this to any other Disney movie makes this seem so like messy and lacking. I also didn't like the animation style. I really hate that color palette. Yeah, I don't like the way the city looks. The pink and the like kind of muted pastels. It felt it felt like how people describe watching Marvel Civil War and stuff, where like everything's gray. And I know this was more of a stylistic choice, but it also just felt kind of flat for me. And I didn't like the way that, like, I heard someone also, different video, I can't remember who said this, describe it as it looks like this is missing one layer of something. Shading or line work or something. And I agree. It feels, and I don't think that's what happened, but it just has this weird kind of uncanny feeling of like, this isn't quite right. Yeah, all the character stuff is bad. Songs are very good. The animal was annoying, and the ending's boring. It's a very boring movie too. Like for a Disney movie that's animated, not much happens.
Yeah.
Considering they have all of the riches of animation to work with. You're like, oh, cool. They're granting wishes. What are the wishes? It's chickens, mostly chickens. 95% chicken wishes. Somebody wished to be, a giant at some point. Nope, never. Everybody's wishes. One guy wishes to be a knight. Like, come on. Jafar had more wishes than this. Like, oh, he turned into a big snake. How is this following Big Snake Guy? If this was a script, here's the only reason, the only way this Wish movie would make sense. If this was a lost, like the first Disney movie ever written script that they found in his like old suitcase, and they were like, wow, the prototypical Disney movie, before they figured out how to make any of the characters interesting and make the songs good. Wow, we should produce it anyway. Because that's what it feels like to me. It is crazy now that I think about it that Chris Pine is in another Disney musical as an evil prince, but he's compelling. Because I'm pretty sure Disney produced Into the Woods, and he's good in that. So, I would say watch that. I don't even really like that musical, but I think it's better than that. Just watch the Agony bit on repeat for an hour and a half.
There was another song that I feel like the song when Asha first sees the wishes with Magnifico, and they sing about how they're going to protect them or whatever.
That song sucks.
That song sucks, first of all. Mm-hmm. But it's also like the lyrics are so generic that I was listening to it and was like, is this about like, it feels like it was like a love song or something that they wrote first and then decided it was about wishes later.
Yeah. No, I've heard someone say that they're like, it sounds like two different people wrote like different pages of this script and just put them together.
At all costs, that's what it is. That's the name of the song.
I know. I thought you were going to say the song that really got me, because I went back and listened to the soundtrack afterwards to kind of remember what some of this was the song that the Critters sing. The Lin-Manuel Miranda rap song. Awful. Just, it's so irritating. And like, man, I thought I didn't like Lin-Manuel Miranda, but was I wrong,
Yeah, they gave him too much power.
This is like six Avengers movies in where they have to let Thanos be part of the good guys now because of the threat that is so much worse than him. And you're like, didn't we hate you before? And it's like, no, but look what things really got worse. Now he's a good guy.
Listen, my favorite song in the movie.
Come on.
Awful. It's the one where they call them shareholders.
Not because it's good, to be clear. It's, I think all the other ones are worse.
I think the Chris Pine song is catchy, but bad. Like the lyrics are bad, but the tune of it I kind of like. We'll get to it, but yeah, and we'll talk about everything.
Well, I guess the main song also, the This Wish, the Disney Princess song, isn't bad.
Yeah, that one's fine.
That one is fine. I think that's a good way to put it. But
although I did see someone point out this whole, and I think this was also Schaeferless, this soundtrack is lousy with slant rhymes. Like if you actually look at some of the words that are being said, they don't even get close to working. And it's like, I guess, in the moment, if it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother you. But I do think if it was like, if we went back and realized that Let It Go is rhyming go with cow, we'd be like, I don't think this song is actually as good as we thought before. But yeah.
Well, I think there's a reason why these are like completely uncatchy, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing is like it does feel like the Wish song I think does get it like as this is why you do a song in a musical. They all seem to have utility where it's like this is the song that explains the town. This is the song that explains what the bad guy's deal is. But there's just no like character behind any of it. So it's all just like I'm a villain and here's my song, the end. And you don't learn anything about anybody. It's all pointless.
Yeah.
That's why we like the other songs, is because they're like they have personality and they endear you to the characters, but these just don't. It's very strange. Like again, after Encanto, it's crazy.
That's like the classic example, or the classic like thing people say about a good musical song versus a bad musical song, which is a good musical song moves things forward or tells you things that you didn't know or expresses an emotion that could not be expressed through dialogue. And a bad musical song is about characters standing on stage and singing about the thing that just happened.
Yeah.
Or about the single emotion that they feel.
And it gets so much worse the more you do it. Like the more you dig into what some of these songs are supposed to be in this musical. Like it's so weird. We got to talk. We'll get to it. Do you guys want to break open that wheel?
Yes, we must free the wheel from the little bubble it was trapped in and let it ride loose amongst the people once more.
So I will open up this wheel and we'll make this wheel to have something more than this podcast. And I'm going to spin it and we'll look at it. Good. Here we go. I spun it. This one's one of mine. This is a question. It's a very important question, guys. What is a wish? It's like, what are they?
It's a dream your heart makes.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
So, like, I want to go over some of the wishes we get throughout the movie.
It's the other way around. A dream is a wish your heart makes.
That's actually closer to it.
Either way.
So your wish is like your like life's ambition or something, right? Like it's like what you want to do. The grandpa wants to make music that changes the world or changes young people's minds.
Inspires the next generation, which, from his perspective, the next generation is currently like 75 years old.
That's true. We get the one who wanted to make clothes. We get the one that wants to be a knight. Are there other wishes we see? I can't remember.
I mean, at the end we see someone giving up like you wanted to you wanted to fly. There's someone who wants to fly.
Oh, sure. And like, so like if you get your wish and your wish is like something that's in your, soul or whatever. Jamie Foxx, 2020 Soul.
There it is.
They take it out of your body and then you stop wanting to do that and you just get like kind of bummed out.
Yeah. Well, like, you mean when he eats it?
No, I mean like when it, like, cause like Sleepy, when he's lost his wish, he's like in a funk and it seems like it's because he's missing that part of himself, kind of.
I feel like he seems fine.
Oh, really?
He's just sleepy.
Well, I thought that all was his friends are like, you've gotten way less interesting.
Yeah.
Since then, because you don't like care about something anymore.
But then why isn't the whole town like that?
I don't know. Why isn't the whole town like that? It doesn't make any sense. Like, and if it was, you would assume people would be able to track this. Like, it would be like, oh, you used to be fun when you were 18 and you loved playing guitar. And then you became 19 and he took your wish and you stopped wanting to play guitar.
Right.
Like, but nobody seems to be able to put any of this together. And it just makes me wonder, like, yeah, is your wish, like, if you wanted to be a doctor and then he took your wish from you, I guess if it was doctor, he'd give it back because he'd be like, that's pretty handy to have in town. But like, I guess I just don't understand.
Well,
and like,
no, as people in our 30s, we understand that as you get older, you learn to deal with your crushed dreams and the fact that you have no further ambitions in life beyond mere survival. And so that just becomes a natural fabric of adulthood.
That's a good point. Also, it's weird now that I think about it. Isn't it weird that Asha has a job? She's a tour guide.
Yep.
Her friend has a job. Her friend who's also not 18 yet is in charge of baking cookies for the king or something. Yes.
Magnifico shaped cookies for the king only.
Not sus.
But like, why does Asha want to be his apprentice?
Seems like a sweet gig.
You get to learn magic. Magic seems pretty cool.
And also, I think it helps get her grandfather's dream.
Or
maybe.
She hopes that will be the case.
Has he had an apprentice before?
He says something about there having been others.
Yeah.
We don't know what
Where do those
happened to
guys
any
go?
of them. We don't
Yeah.
know. We don't even know if he, like, does he have a normal human lifespan?
It seems like, so I was curious about this too. It seems like what happened is he just showed up there, built a castle, and then people, because like in my head, I'm also like, yeah, his grandpa's older than him. Like, why doesn't he have knowledge that beats Magnifico? Or like, it just doesn't work. But it does seem like this country was just founded like 20 years ago. Also, I do think that, like, we'll get some more Magnifico stuff, but I love that Magnifico has a backstory that never gets filled in.
Yeah, you think like it's gonna, especially because he describes it so vaguely. He's like,
Yep.
the people came and took the thing I wanted, I loved, and now I want to make sure that never happens again. And it's like, oh, I bet this is going to turn out to be not what it sounds like. It's going to be something that wasn't bad that happened to him, but because he's a bad guy, he's interpreted it in a bad way. And it's like, no, I guess that actually did just happen, but it doesn't really matter.
And you take it even further than that too, because they give us that information by showing us a big scroll that has part of it missing, and it seems like it's been like kind of burnt off, but it's also like, well, how is part of this movie not finding the other side of that? And then it turns out Magnifico killed everybody or something. Like, why not just have it be the whole scroll? And part of why I kind of think this movie has gone through a bunch of drafts. And I kind of think in one draft there was something that they just kind of gave up on. Because that reeks of being like an Act 1 thing. Unless this movie is a hidden gem and it's very subversive in that way.
I don't know. Wouldn't count on it.
Also, all the wishes, Magnifico has them, right? Like they're in his little vault thing, whatever, lab.
Yes.
Nobody knows this? Or Asha knows they're there?
Everyone knows he keeps the wishes. I guess people don't know that he has no intention of granting most of them. But you'd think after a few years you would note, like, seems like a lot of people don't get their wishes granted.
Right. And also, like, Asha does not pry on this or anything. Like, she's just like, oh, why are all these wishes here? Oh, I just don't grant most of them. Not because I don't think I can, because I don't want to. Like, nobody's ever asked you this before, dude? This would be like the only thing anyone would talk about in this town. Oh man, I hope I know when my wish is. Like, we're in a world where people wait in line for iPhones and stuff. Like, this is wishes. There would be so many questions people would have.
I get the impression he doesn't like talk to people very often.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's the king.
I did say, which to be fair, like, you know, for a king does track.
And you know, it's also weird because of the wife character, which I'm fine with her not being a bad guy too, but I don't think it quite works considering his whole deal.
Considering how obviously evil he is?
Yeah, like, where's she been this whole time?
Maybe she knew, but like the perks.
That's what it seems like. And then it's like, all right, well, I guess you have to go to mirror jail too, kind of. You just get to switch sides in the big song, be a good guy, and act like you never learned any of this. But also, like, kind of when she showed up and had this conversation with Asha, and then he was so obviously evil, I'm like, oh, she's like his handler or something. And she's not even just pulling the strings, but she's able to like kind of keep him on the right track.
Like, she's the real ultimate villain?
Like, kind of. I guess it would be more that, like, they're working as a pair. It'd be more that they're working as a pair. She's got all the good instincts and he's got all the magic powers. And every so often, if you leave him to his own devices long enough, he'll do something really dumb. So she has to show up and be like, whoa, honey, we're not touching the book. But it's not that. It just is like he's really bad and she's nice. If only she knew what she knew now. Never talked about it with him.
There it
Her
is.
husband.
There it is.
Yeah, does she know that most wishes will never get granted? Like, she must.
I feel like some of the people, like, if I were growing up in this town, my wish would be to know how the wishes work, you know, or something.
Well, that would
be
never
all I would care about. Exactly. And that's why I'd be so dumb. And everybody in this town's really dumb because that's all they want. They're all just like, man, I hope I could someday get my wish granted so I can know how they go. And then immediately you lose that. Like, it's so weird too, because like the city is Rosas, right? And they have this theme of like there's flowers and stuff, but like they're the wish town, you know? Like they don't get to have other things. It's kind of the same with Encanto where I'm like, no, you're the town with the magic people. And that's what makes you interesting. I don't pretend you have an economy. It's the wishes. That's why people come here. But I don't know. I spun the wheel again, landed on one of Diggins', I think, my 7 underdeveloped friends.
That's me. As we've said before, she has 7 friends who are the 7 dwarves. You got the main friend, Doc, the betrayer friend, Sleepy, the one that they thought was good, that people would think was really funny, Grumpy.
Gizmo, right? He's back, baby.
Yeah, it is Gizmo.
You just have to Put him in everything this year.
Harvey Gillian, if you don't understand us calling him Gizmo.
Blue Beetle's own.
You got the guy who looked a lot like Shaggy, Sneezy.
Yeah, Shaggy. I thought that too.
No, he was Dopey. The other guy, guy who sneezed a lot was Sneezy.
Oh yeah,
obviously.
No way.
I couldn't describe any of the rest of them to you with a gun to my head.
Wait, hold on. Okay.
Happy was the other girl.
Happy was the girl with no personality.
That was
and
it.
then Bashful was the girl who magically appeared behind
the hideaway
people.
And had the hideaway because introverts need a space too, everybody.
Yeah. I'm honestly surprised I got all 7 of them, to be honest with you.
I am too, because I could not remember the Happy one at all.
That's because there's the only reason you know she's happy is because the other 6 are taken. There's nothing especially distinctive about her that would make you think, well, she's happier than the others.
Yeah.
And so, like, listen, in Snow White, that was kind of the joke, right? Is that the dwarves were sort of one-dimensional characters who had one personality trait, and that was their name. But even in that movie, they were more developed because they have to learn to, like, live with Snow White and, like, come to care about her and then go to save her at the end. Like, they have an arc. And, like, Grumpy gets a little less grumpy. Bashful has to be a little more outgoing, etc. You know, there's stuff with the 7 dwarves. But these guys are not the main characters of the movie, unlike the 7 dwarves. They're in, like I said before, maybe cumulatively 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
So we get their singular personality trait, and then that's it. That's all you get. They feel so shallow and hollow, and I couldn't give less of a shit about them.
Well, and like to be fair to Snow White, like what Snow White does is she just goes in and she's like, you're grumpy, you're sleepy, you're Doc. Okay, great. Let's move on. With this, they all have to be cute and like, oh, which one is that? So they can't all be 100% of an emotion either, enough that you're just like, oh, broad caricature. Sure, let's have fun with it. They all have to like kind of half do that and half just be nothing. So it feels like a very watered down version of a character from a movie like this.
It also doesn't help that the first thing we get out of them is the most stilted exposition dialogue in the entire movie. Because, like, when we first meet Grumpy, he's like, Asha, what are you doing here when you have your interview to be the King's Apprentice? And everyone knows that being the King's Apprentice is cool because the King grants wishes. You see, when you're 18, he takes your wish and then holds it for a while, and then sometimes he has wish-granting ceremonies where he grants your wish. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, what was the storybook shit for in the beginning? Why are we even doing this twice?
It felt so awkward.
Yeah.
Oh, Grumpy was the fucking worst one of them, though. I hated him.
Awful.
I think I hated Dopey more. Only because...
Dopey felt harmless.
Dopey garnered some small amount of affection for me for looking like Shaggy.
That was why I hated him more. You can't take away this beautiful Shaggy persona and put it on a character so annoying. Also, he had a lot of business during that song I hated, so that didn't help. But, you know, that was probably mostly just because he was the tall one.
By the way, they all do have like actual names, which I think all start with the same letter as their dwarf name. But fuck if I remember what any of those names were.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, Asha Magnifico, even Asha, I think in a week all forgotten. But a lot of the rest of these names I'm never going to remember again. Yeah, you got Dahlia, Gabo, Hal, Simon, Safi, Dario, and Bazima.
Bazima is Bashful. Gabo is Grumpy.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's the same first letter. That's the idea.
Man, oh my God. Do you know who some of these actors were?
Besides Harvey Gillen?
Lord. Besides Harvey Gillen. Most of them aren't interesting. Rami Youssef is one of them, who is a comedian. He's fun. He played Safi, so I guess the sneezy one. Or, well, yeah, he played Safi. John Brudnitsky, who was a SNL guy who didn't really work and then left SNL. I don't think he's the one who left because it was too woke. He's a different one. But
good.
He played Dario, who I guess was Dopey.
Yeah, it's only
but then Simon, which was the night one, played by Evan Peters.
Evan Peters?
Yeah. Quicksilver, Dick, whatever his name was. What was his name in that show?
Oh,
Dick Butt or something. What was it?
Wasn't Dick
No,
Butt.
it wasn't Dick Butt. Ralph Boner. Ralph Boner is back, baby. Second Marvel thing in a row. where he played a weird underdeveloped magic guy who was bad. Yeah. Ugh. Did not care for that. Do you remember what the queen's name was, Diggins?
I absolutely do not know.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't either until I just saw it. I will say I should remember the goat's name because I said that a fair amount.
Oh,
I still can't
it's like,
remember it.
is it just Vincent or is it like Vincenzo?
It's closer to Vincenzo. It's Valentino.
Valentino. That was
Yeah, you get that a little bit in this, so it's fine. Yeah, the friends are weird. I don't know why they bother besides the little Snow White thing. All right. Spin the wheel again. Landed on one of yours, Diggins. Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. We've kind of been talking about him, but let's talk about whatever the hell his name was. I already forgot.
Magnifico.
Magnifico, right? Yeah.
You know, like the thing that what's his name says in that Twilight movie.
Oh yeah, that was good. I liked him in that.
Yeah. So Magnifico is strange. So he's supposed to be like a throwback Disney villain, right?
Yes.
And those guys were always very obviously evil. Like you saw them and you're like, oh, that's the villain. You know, your Jafars, your Ursulas, your Gastons, etc.
Your Scars, your Yzmas. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, that's what's kind of fun about them, is that they're, like, just these big evil guys who have big evil songs and are, like, you know, very straightforward and clear-cut. And, that clashes a lot with his role in the story, which is to be the benevolent king, who it turns out is not benevolent. It's like they wanted to write a more modern story where there's like the twist villain, like in Frozen.
Yeah.
But they wanted it, but because it was supposed to be the Disney throwback, they made it so that it's not a twist. He's just evil from the start. But that makes nothing about him make any sense.
This is true.
Absolutely nothing. Let's describe Magnifico for people that haven't seen the movie. Besides that he's Chris Pine, what does he want? Like, what's his deal?
So no one can have wishes because
he thinks they're dangerous.
Power?
That's how he kind of explains it the first time to Asha. And like, this doesn't seem to be a secret he's keeping. Like I've said, this is something he would tell you. It seems like if you asked. He's never told anybody this before. Nobody knows it though, which is a bummer. But does he really believe that?
Oh God, I don't know. It's so flimsy. It's like, well, but then on the other hand, what other motivation could there be? Right?
I mean, the other motivation that like they get at in the very beginning is just like he's handsome, he's very vain, you know?
Yeah.
Which like they really can't remember is the thing that they've decided about him. And also is the most boring trait to give a Disney villain. Because they're mostly that, you know? Yzma's that plus a bunch of other things. But this one's just like, I'm handsome. I like mirrors.
That was weird.
Is he supposed to be the guy in the mirror or something? Is that his deal in the next one?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I mean, like if it is,
mirror?
If it is, it's not. It doesn't work. They did do a good job at it.
Yeah, it's not explicit enough. Yeah, no, it's not good.
Yeah. Like it's trapped in like the dimension that Superman's villains go to in the end of the movie, which is also a mirror. So it's kind of like it's more based on that. But
he's in the fandom zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
that's
means
what it is.
He actually retroactively appears in the Lego Batman movie.
Oh, that's true.
Oh yeah.
He he does magic. What is his magic when it's not wish stuff? It's got like potions too, right?
Yeah, he seems to do some alchemy, but also his magic seems to just be generic, like I make stuff float and make illusions and stuff.
Yeah, but that stuff's like the green magic. I'm talking like standard Magnifico magic, but is it just wishes?
I mean, he makes the wishes fly. I don't think that they naturally do, or maybe they do. But he makes them come down towards him, and
that's true.
And he can open his. Well, it turns out you just need to make the motion to open the door, right?
Well, and he also has the spell on the book that makes little birds or something.
Oh yeah,
that's something.
He put a protective spell on the case for the evil book.
Yeah.
So I mean, he does do some magic that's not wish related.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. I do want to just run through some of the lines of his song because I think they're crazy.
Okay.
He says, I can't help it if mirrors love my face. That's the first line of his song.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, and yeah, that's something, except they really do kind of give a, like, forget about it pretty quickly. But then he says, it's genetics. Yeah, I got these genes from outer space. What does that mean?
Does this go into the whole space thing? That's like kind of a theme throughout the whole thing.
Like, kind of a theme, but like, does he, like, yeah, what does this mean? Like, how did you read that then?
What, like the whole outer space thing?
Well, like, that line, I don't know. I got these genes from outer space.
I didn't think too much about it, if I'm being honest.
It's only annoying to me because it's the first line of the song. And I was like,
sure.
And it as it sets the song up, I'm like, is this what it's about? He says, he'd give the clothes off Benito's back if you really needed that.
That one bothered you so much.
Hated it. Because in the first time, I'm like, is that his name? Is he Benito Magnifico? That seems like a name that could exist.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says, I'd be the first one to volunteer. And then the line is, Henry, if your home were to crumble. Now, in that line, I assumed it was being sung to Henry. Because he has these little, like, weebles in his desk that are guys.
Right.
And he's singing to them. But, like, the way it's written, I'm like, is he volunteering Henry? If his home was to crumble? But he also says, I let you live here for free and don't charge you rent. So, you mean taxes? Do they live in the castle?
Well, presumably he owns the whole island, right? Because that's what it means to be king.
I guess so, yeah. So there are no taxes. This is like, speaking of Florida.
This is a good deal, hey?
Yeah. He says he's always there when you need to vent, which I'm like, I don't think that's true. He can't be. He doesn't seem to talk to anybody.
Right.
They have a line in here that's so weird. He says, are you sure you're not the prob? That's a good line.
Ugh, gross.
It's a slant rhyme for up.
What?
Prob. Yeah.
No, it's not.
I mean, it kind of is. That's the only thing so see this kingdom? I built it up. Well, oh no, you're right. Sorry. Prob rhymes with job down here. Okay. Up and much rhyme, which is closer.
That's still, I'm like,
yeah. I do think it's weird that they give this king this, like, his villain song is like, I wish people loved me, but they do, right? Yeah. Like, he's not a king that's taken for granted.
Right.
Well,
that's a choice you could make.
I mean, I feel like the point of that is supposed to be, at least, he is like a narcissist. And so even though he is loved and adored, it's never like enough. It's like the mere fact that they ask anything of him instead of just loving him unconditionally makes him angry.
I get that.
That's fair. What else was there that was really here? Or that was weird here? Oh, yeah, okay. So this is where he says it. I granted 14 wishes last year. So yeah, one a month, basically. Which, like,
how many?
Not a humongous town. Well, like, almost, close. Plus, we don't know what planet this takes place on. I guess it's the Mediterranean. But
yeah, actually, we do quite explicitly know.
Yeah, and on Venus maybe or something.
But also, people in the beginning songs say hello in Arabic and Hebrew.
Oh, yeah.
It's still flimsy, in my opinion. They could have that, or maybe it's another dimension.
See, I'm not going to include the English thing because obviously that's just because it's a movie and we have to understand it, right? But they explicitly use other languages that exist on Earth. So that makes me think it's got to be Earth.
That's true. I do think this is meant to be so vague that it can tie into Frozen if they ever try to connect these.
I do think Frozen is supposed to be in, like, Scandinavia somewhere.
For sure. And then Tangled and Frozen are in the same world?
Yeah, because you can see Rapunzel and Flynn in the coronation scene.
Yeah.
And there's that fan theory that everyone had about how their parents were the Tarzan parents until that got debunked really hard in Frozen 2.
That's right. That was funny. Yeah, this villain's weird. What else is weird about him? Why does he take on apprentices at all?
That's a great question, actually. Seems to be no benefit there.
Yeah, just seems like he's gonna get found out. And he does immediately. And then he, like, blackmails her in public, kind of on the stage. Mm-hmm. It's like, fuck you can't do anything about it. It's like, well, don't teach her magic then, or don't have anybody do this. I don't know. I guess he's just bored, but apparently you could just call him if you need to vent. So I figure he'd be really busy talking to people.
And like you said, he makes no effort to hide it. She asks, and he's just like, oh yeah, no, I don't grant most wishes. Like,
Yeah,
he
and
says it like if anyone asked, he would say that.
for sure. And but I guess part of it is they're all just really dull, like kind of dull. Like they don't have a lot of thoughts in their head because their spirits were stolen from them.
And
Is this
like,
how, by the way, Kingdom Hearts, there's like little darknesses that steal souls or something?
The
they
heartless.
steal your hearts.
They steal your heart? Oh, okay, never mind.
Now, Nando, you might be thinking, what is a heart in this context? And the answer is shut up.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, it's very similar to Wish, so maybe they are the same thing.
Yeah, maybe
It might
he's
be.
the main villain of that game.
Well, you become a much more like empty husk, lifeless person without your heart. Like,
Well,
her
yeah,
mom
but in
is
real life,
her mom is like sad, but is still able to just do everything she needs to do.
yeah, but in actuality, if you lose your heart, you die.
Right, but I mean,
So-
like comparing this movie to Kingdom Hearts is what I'm saying. Comparing two fictional things, DJ.
Right.
Right, sure.
But yeah, what were we saying?
King Magnifico's weird, and also I said it before already, but like it's weird that he's evil from the start, but then also reads the evil book that makes him evil.
Yeah, the book is weird. Like, yeah, it also doesn't give him more power. Like, it does, but it doesn't give him any power that matters. You know, like it just gives him the sorcerer powers you kind of would have expected he had the whole time.
Well, are the green hands part of it? I couldn't tell if that
I mean,
was like
it's implied
extra
that
juice.
he's becoming stronger by crushing the wishes and eating them, unlike through the book. But the problem is, like, his power was so nebulously defined to begin with that, like, making him stronger doesn't really mean anything to us.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I can see a world where he's not a sorcerer, but he's pretending to be a sorcerer or something. And then he gets found out. And oh, shit, I got to use the book. But it's not that. He's just a good sorcerer, but he needs the book for something. But it's so he can turn green. You guys remember Cinderella, right? No, not Cinderella. Sorry, Sleeping Beauty.
I do remember
Yeah.
Sleeping Beauty.
Do you remember the end where Maleficent turns into her big final form, Green Maleficent? It's pretty exciting, huh?
Right, yeah. where
Remember
she,
the end of...
She goes
Yeah.
through the whole transformation sequence into the giant monster that Prince Philip has to fight, herself but green.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It was like how they do that in the end of the Aladdin movie. They
Mhm.
make Jafar, but he's green instead.
Yep.
His hair is a little off. That was good.
That is good.
Let's talk about the music. Let's talk about Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh my.
Miss him?
God.
I miss him.
Is this
What's he up to?
Is this a spoke on
Yeah.
the wheel?
Yeah, this is Wheel Spoke.
Oh, tick,
What
tick,
happened?
Tick, tick, tick. What is the name of this spoke?
Yeah, I called it Lin-Manuel Miranda at home because that's what this is. Apparently, the music in this movie was written by people that write top 40 pop songs.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say
Feels
this-
right.
I don't think this is a Lin-Manuel Miranda joint,
You sure?
It's supposed to seem like one. I kind of think.
but I don't
Oh,
think
it definitely
I don't think
is.
he actually did it. Is what I'm
No,
saying.
he did not.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. But we are supposed to think that it is.
Oh yeah.
I think. I
I
surmise.
mean, I don't think we're supposed to think that he did it. I think it is supposed to be in a similar style.
I would say, yeah, I think that's true, but I think they want you to go home and go like, that was Lin-Manuel Miranda, right? And they go, yeah, sounded just like him. As good as any of the other ones that are him.
Well, therein lies the
But-
problem.
Yeah, man. Just no style. I'm gonna try to find the lyrics to that one song, man. The one that gave me an aneurysm. What is it
The
called?
end one, right? Where they're like, we must be good because to be good is the one to be.
No,
Like
I'm
whatever
actually
that one
talking
is.
about the song "I'm a Star," the
Oh.
one that gets really rappy in the middle.
The animal
Oh,
one. The animal and mushroom one.
Yeah. When it comes to the universe, we're all shareholders.
That line is.
Maybe the worst line I think in any Disney song ever.
But you see, it's funny because the Disney Corporation is a
Yeah.
company which has shareholders.
Oh.
And this is a movie made by the Disney Corporation.
And it exists in America.
Mhm.
And since Disney kind of owns the government anyway, we're all kind of shareholders at Disney when you really think about it.
Right, except
shit
we're
is the
non-voting shareholders who don't share in the profits.
That's true.
That shit was the worst stuff ever conjured. That was like the stuff of nightmares. I think that these songs might have been written by AI under a pseudonym. You
Wow.
guys hear about the sports?
What an
sports-
original observation,
I
DJ.
know.
How did you think of that all by yourself?
Well, no, well,
I do know what you're talking about, DJ, that the Sports Illustrated thing.
yeah. So you
Yeah.
guys are saying like, oh, like AI made this. What I'm saying is,
I didn't say that.
I
Nando
did say
said
that. No, I did say that. And I don't think I feel like it feels like that. And a lot of things feel like that these days. I think
Well,
it has something to do with the, knock off Lin-Manuel Miranda thing too.
Here's what I'm claiming. Diggins, are you familiar with the Sports Illustrated AI story?
They made up authors for stories they generated by AI.
Exactly. And these authors were fake authors that were also made via like AI images and AI bios. I think we have to look into the bios of the composers of the music on this score and determine if they are in fact real and not AI people.
I mean, I'll tell you about the composer for this movie. His name is Dave Metzger. He has existed for a while. He did the music for Brother Bear 2.
Okay.
Tarzan 2, The Legend Begins. Tarzan and Jane. Tarzan, the TV series. The Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
Oh.
Yeah. Rivers of Light, We Are One. What is this? Oh, this is a Lion King, like ride or something. And then the Once Upon a Studio short that Disney just released, which can't imagine had that much music. Probably had a little, but some. So yeah, so he's kind of real, unless they've had AI for longer than we thought.
Maybe that's why they needed Walt Disney's Frozen Head. It's actually a secret power source for primitive AI.
That's true.
Could be.
Is this a conspiracy theory, by the way? I just thought about this, but it must be a conspiracy theory that exists. That Disney made the movie Frozen so they could change Google. So when you Google Walt Disney Frozen, you don't get his head.
Ooh.
I like the movie. That's probably
like there was another one like that.
Yeah, I can't remember what the other thing is. That's why I'm like, I think.
I think there was Taylor Swift Jet.
Yes, yeah, that's why she dated or went to the Jets game.
Went to the Jets game. So if it was Taylor Swift Jet, it was the game instead of how much she uses her private jet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like those. I like when they trick us.
Yeah, there's conspiracy theories that are dangerous, and then the fun little ones. Those are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing about the AI is like, right, because AI is good at making things feel like things without actually them being the things. It knows what a sentence is supposed to sound like, so it makes what seems like a sentence, but it isn't. And I do think that is kind of true of this movie. Like, it has what seems like a song for a Disney villain, but it's not. Like, it's just kind of a song. And it has what seems like friend characters, but they're just kind of guys. And yeah, that's why I think the AI thing makes sense. Yeah. I do miss. What is Lin-Manuel up to? Is he doing something now?
I don't know.
Did we bully him out of existence? We should go back. No. Send him a cake or something.
We bullied him off of social media, but I think he still works.
Yeah.
Did we actually bully him off of social media?
That face was pretty funny.
Years.
Oh wow, good for him.
He's in that Percy Jackson show. He's Hermes.
Oh, huh.
So
that's a movie we're supposed to do at some point.
Yeah, the show comes out at the end of the year, but the movie will be going for like a couple months. So. I'm sure January we'll have some free time.
I don't know. That's when all the best trash comes out.
That's true. That was where Mithrigan came last year. I don't know what this year's Mithrigan will be. Maybe Wonka again. But we'll see. I spun the wheel again. You guys landed on, I think it's the DJ's Rosalasha. Let's talk about the Super Mario Wish guy. What is his name in this movie?
I think he's just a star. I don't think they give him a name.
Yeah.
That's good. Don't bother, Don't bother naming your characters.
That's one of the first lessons in film school. It's like, you don't need to name your characters. No one cares. Yeah. They'll just call them their actor's name.
They'll call them the thing from Super Mario, like we did. So, what is it, Luma? That's what those are called in that? Yeah, everybody will call it the Luma. What do we think of this?
Well, it's just weird that aesthetically looks exactly like Luma from Super Mario Brothers Galaxy, so no creativity there. So it's like minus 7 points from.
How many different ways are there to design a little star what is cute?
You're Disney, figure it out.
Yeah,
like Mario Galaxy got there first, so they got their one. So now make your own cute little star.
Have you guys heard what this was supposed to be?
No.
Originally, what did
a weasel?
A weasel comes from the sky.
Yeah, space weasel.
They lost the lyrics to When You Wish Upon a Weasel. That was originally going to be what the story was, but the rights went back to Ike Perlmutter. He's got them all.
Damn.
Yeah. It's funny, too, because we got a Luma in the Super Mario Brothers movie this year as well, in jail, being like all suicidal or something. Yeah. But this was apparently going to be in 2D, this character.
Oh,
and
interesting.
Then I would have accepted that.
Yeah, that would have been different, I feel like, enough from the Lumas.
Kind of like a Roger Rabbit sort of situation.
Yeah, and it makes sense because it's from like a different universe, so it's got like a different. I mean, to be fair, this one's very circular. I forgot how circular this star is.
Yeah, it's a fat little boy.
It looks more like a Katamari, like kind of the ball that, because it really is just like a circle with the little dots on it, and then a heart. It's got a heart for a face.
It's shaped like a friend.
That's great. Oh, and also apparently the star was going to be a person at some point, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like they kind of went. Like I said, this script has gone through a lot of different hands. It seems like.
you don't say.
The Funko Pop for this thing is horrifying. I sent it to you guys. It's really weird. Okay. Yeah. Anything else about the star?
No, I just found it annoying.
All right. Yeah, it's weird because these movies always have like two animal sidekicks, kind of, and this is also kind of an animal sidekick. But then there's the goat too. Maybe we could do one. I spun the wheel again, landed on one of DJ's. The goat is just Clayface.
Oh my god!
Let's talk about that goat, huh?
So listen, goat character, not a fan. Doesn't really add much. It's just is there. This is very forgettable. But it's a Disney movie, so you need an animal companion. Whatever. Voiced by Alan Tudyk, who I think we all could agree is great.
Yeah, I love Alan Tudyk kid stuff usually,
and does many voices, many different voices. And also whose regular voice doesn't sound like the Sebastian or whatever, the goat from this movie. Vincenzo. Whatever.
Vincenzo.
Valentino.
No, it sounds like Sebastian, the crab from Little Mermaid. He's got a Rastafari, and he's like Tom Hanks' weird son. I'm falling really into that.
Chet Hanks.
Yeah, Chet Hanks. Him and Chet hang out a lot, so I think it kind of rubbed off on him.
Oh, God. So, but for some reason, for anyone who watches the animated Harley Quinn show on Max, which is fantastic, and somehow hasn't been canceled yet, thank God. It's Alan Tudyk is Clayface on that show and does a very dramatic voice because Clayface is an actor. He does that kind of voice, and he ported that voice over to this movie for the goat. And doesn't work. Doesn't work at all. What the fuck was this? It was just Clayface the whole time. I don't know. Did this disarm you guys as much as it did me?
So I never watched the Harley Quinn show, so I don't have that specific problem. But and this is a thought I stole from Jenny Nicholson, just so nobody thinks I'm smart or creative. But the problem with Valentino, the goat character, is that the whole joke of this character is like, oh, he's a little baby goat, but he's got a deep man voice. But they designed him to have a man face. So it doesn't actually seem incongruous at all.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
Interesting.
Like, he doesn't have a cutesy baby goat face, which would make this seem silly.
Right.
They even gave him an old man voice or name. They like Valentino. You want to call him like, Timothy or something? I don't know. But yeah, you're right. They did give him an old man face because he does the eyebrows at the camera at one point, and I'm just like, yeah, that's what a person looks like in this universe.
Yeah, so
point,
like,
Jenny.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure all the times he talks about his butt made the children laugh, and good for them. I mean, this is a movie for kids in the end, but it didn't really work for me. The character was not particularly fun or amusing, in my opinion.
Nah, it's not good. It's a bad version of this. I think you're like, yeah, as someone who has watched the Harley Quinn show, like, it's just that. And like, I don't think it's that in a lazy way. I think they went, do that, please. And he was like, okay. And it's, but it's weird that this is the same guy who did like King Candy and like, Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, right.
It's like, that's a good one.
He's done a lot of Disney work.
Yeah.
Which makes sense when they got him for this.
Speaking of a king character who seems benevolent at first, but then later on it's revealed was actually evil, except they do it good.
Yeah, like with that, I feel like you just have to come up with like some other thing. Like that's the thing. They came up with the fake identity and the real identity, but there's no gap between them. Like, it's so, man, this Magnifico character, I don't know what it is. It really, something about it's really under my craw. Maybe we'll get to it later. Like, maybe I'll come up with it.
Maybe
Besides
when
the
we
really
get to
boring
the wheel
end.
slice that says Nando's craw.
My craw, yeah. Can I defeat Magnifico? I think the answer to that is a big old yes. But also, I don't know.
Sing good.
Well, could I though? Because he would take all my, like my love for defeating guys. That would be my wish. He definitely wouldn't grant that wish. But yeah, I don't know. I would want to write myself a little note. It's like, pretend your wish is to become killed by Magnifico, and then just put that in my pocket. And then he takes my wish, and then I read the note. It's like, don't let him give me my wish back. Okay, great. And then I kill him. But for that time, I am unkillable. Like, Magnifico can't get me.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
No, but then he just has to grant your wish, though.
Right, but he seems to need to do that with me. In like, we hold hands and do it. So as long as I don't let him do that, I think I'm good. Like, he pushes the wish into me, I think, is how the wishes are granted visually. So as long as I don't do that, I'm fine. It's pretty good that they made this movie and they have like all these townspeople with wishes. So then by the end, when they get their wishes, they can use those to beat him.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah, let's look at the wheel. Let's spin the wheel again. You know what? Actually, you know what's better than that? Cameos. Let's talk about some cameos for this movie, you guys.
Oh man.
What was your favorite one? Did anybody, here's a question. Did anybody in your theater react to any of them?
It's Pete. Nah, man.
I mean, no, not really, but also there weren't a lot of people in my theater.
Same.
I would say Bambi got some gasps for me, but I don't think it would have if one of the characters didn't go, thanks, Bambi. The Peter Pan one was pretty tough.
When you say our favorite, do you mean our favorite or our favorite?
Our favorite, second one.
Okay. I mean, yeah, the Peter Pan one sucked, obviously, but trying to think of what other ones there were that were really bad.
Also, like, every Disney movie has these. You know, Hercules has the scar thing in it. Like, this doesn't feel like a new thing they invented for this 100th anniversary.
Previous Disney movies have like one or two unobtrusive ones that aren't actually important.
That's true. They're not littered throughout all the background.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, this one is chock-a-block full of them. I mean, my favorite was when he made the brambles, the thorns from the end of Sleeping Beauty to like hold everybody's ankles for reasons.
Yeah.
And like they weren't actually a bunch of thorns that covered Rosas. They were just like magic representations of little things to hold everybody's ankles.
Yeah.
But they looked like the Sleeping Beauty thing.
That's true.
And isn't that the most important thing of all?
That is all that matters. Oh my God. I didn't even know this. I feel so stupid. Do you know why Asha's name is Asha?
Enlighten me.
It's like Fantasia because he's the sorcerer's apprentice. It's like Fantasia, you know?
What?
Okay. I kind of see it.
I was wondering through this movie. I was like, what is
That's
this
why he's high as apprentices, so she can be the sorcerer's apprentice.
From the movies. Yep.
Just like the Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, I guess like, but so according to the, trivia for this, Magnifico becomes the mirror on the wall at the end of the movie. Now, I don't think that's true, but they say that in this.
Also not made very apparent, but whatever.
IMDb trivias are not always accurate.
Yeah, well, this one has 14 upvotes. So.
Oh, then it must be real.
Yeah. Who gets this one? Snow White's evil queen, right? So let's see. What does that look like?
He's like a little mask guy floating in the mirror.
He doesn't have like a goatee or anything. Yeah, it doesn't look like this at all.
He doesn't have a body. He's just a face.
But even the face doesn't look like Magnifico's face.
Well, no, definitely
Yeah.
not.
Well, there's a world where Magnifico does look like this guy. And at the end, you trapped him in a mirror and you're like, oh, okay. I see what they did there. But they specifically made him look different. Good for them. You know what? Actually, I can see this supposed to being him. It's kind of got a goatee. I wouldn't say I think it actually does because it's more shading. The way the eyes are shaded, it's like, well, that's what they're doing with the mouth. But maybe they are trying to make it a goatee. Jesus.
I think my favorite cameo, though, was when Jiminy Cricket stood up and saluted the troops.
What's your wish, little cricket? You want to serve in our be the knight of everybody's favorite guy, Geppetto?
No, sir. I'd like it if Garibaldi and his pack of red shirts were hanged for their crimes.
Oh, no. This is now got woke. Well, anti-woke, I guess, or something. I don't even know.
I'm calling back. Long-time listeners will know I'm calling back to our Jiminy Cricket was a Confederate bit.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, Magnifico's like look. Like, what is it?
Kingly?
Just like guy? Yeah. It's a big cloak. How did they do this? Like, how did they design such a boring guy? This sucks.
I feel like a similar problem with Asha is every time I looked at her promotional materials, I was like, why is the sister from Encanto the star of this movie?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Nando, I have my favorite whatever cameo thing or East reference, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I love when the mushrooms when Asha goes, "This is crazy," and the mushrooms go, "We love crazy," in a reference to everyone's favorite movie, Frozen.
That's true. That did happen.
Is that from Frozen?
Okay, can I just say something crazy? I love crazy.
Oh man, I missed that reference.
The Hans Anna song.
Yeah.
Is this what it's like when fucking Harry Styles walks out of a portal at the end of Eternals for the rest of you people? It's not a good feeling. I don't like it.
Hey, now to be fair, a little naked troll voiced by Patton Oswalt came out of that portal first.
That's true. And the troll explained it to us. If there was a Patton Oswalt in this, a little rat probably, who explained to me all the cameos, I think I'd like it.
Just we love crazy. Remember from Frozen?
Yeah. Oh, man. I'm surprised now that there weren't. Like, how is there not fucking a rat in the kitchen helping cook or so? I guess that's a Pixar. That doesn't count. But that's the other thing is, like, I know a lot of Disney movies. I don't know all of them, but I know a lot of them, especially the recent ones. I don't think I could give you references to most of them in this. You know, like, was there like an Aladdin reference in here?
There must have been, right? I'm sure there's like a lamp sitting around somewhere.
Yeah, but like, man, they got a couple of them in.
Oh, actually, I think the lamp is in that song that you hate, that you keep referencing.
Oh, really?
Maybe.
That makes sense.
I think it might be part of the, like, projection machine that they use.
Oh, yeah, remember the bit where he's talking and doing a song with all of his little mirrors? Do you like that when it was in Puss in Boots more? I did. I think it was good in Puss in Boots instead of this.
Better in Puss in Boots, yeah.
I liked Harvey Gilliam in Puss in Boots more, too. I also liked him more in Blue Beetle. I spun the wheel.
Harsh.
Yeah, I know, right? I spun the wheel again, landed on one of, I don't remember who put this one in. My grandpa wants to play a song. I do want to talk about the grandpa real quick. He's a real bootlicker, you know? That is. I've not seen a bootlicker like that since Andor. You're like, he's stealing all the wishes.
Cyril Karn, my favorite character of all time.
Yeah. Like, it's pretty crazy that a third of the way through this movie, Asha learns the big secret and she just tells the character, and the character, for no real good reason, is like, don't tell me. I don't want to know the secret. So not that he doesn't believe her, he just doesn't want to know.
I mean, if it's never going to come true, then yeah, right?
And that's what she's saying. She's saying it's never going to come true. But, like, you can if we steal it tonight. Let's go break in. We have enough people to get him.
It's never going to be magically granted to you, Grandpa, but if you remember what it is, then you can just work towards it yourself.
Yeah.
He's 100.
I'd be like, what's the song? Like, it's not.
Yeah, but he has the sprightly mannerisms of a man of 80.
That's true. That Mediterranean, you know, all that olive oil and stuff. He's living to be a long, old man. How long do people live in, like, what's the oldest Disney character? Anybody over 100?
Oldest character?
Yeah. They have any tortoises? Probably, right?
Sorry, in what? In Disney?
Yeah, in the Disney canon, who's the oldest guy? How old does this guy have to be to outlive them?
Probably, like, the genie or something, right?
No, that's true. Well, he doesn't count. I'm trying to think if there's like a Methuselah. Like, what's the life expectancy of a healthy Disney person? He's 100 and he's doing fine.
How old is Carl in Up?
He's pretty old. I would say he's maybe 80.
Yeah, he's probably like 80s, 70s at most, at minimum.
It is wild now that I think about it that the dad had a dream, or the grandpa had a dream. King stole it, didn't grant it on his 100th birthday, and then the grandpa lived through the movie. You know, the grandpa dies, never getting to fulfill his dream or something like that. Felt like that'll be sad, but they didn't do that.
No, in fact, they didn't really do much with the grandpa at all.
Yeah, he sings a song at the end, I think, or something, maybe
in the post-credits scene. Yeah.
With Harry Styles.
Yeah, with Harry Styles. Him and Harry Styles sing When You Wish Upon a Star together.
And Chris Pine is behind him, and Harry Styles dances like a little marionette for a little bit. Remember that movie they made with each other?
Yeah.
It was a weird movie. Chris Pine loves to be in cults and lead them and stuff. He's got a good face for it. Speaking of things that were cameos, I just want to spin the wheel, landed on another one of mine, Green Book. 2021 Oscar nominee Green Book. Oscar winner. Remember when the Green Book was evil? Was this supposed to be something from some other Disney thing or something?
I think maybe it was supposed to be like the evil queen in Snow White's book where she gets the poison from.
Okay.
Do you remember it turns her into a witch, or she disguises herself as a witch and then she can't turn back.
Yeah, I think that's it.
But it is like a big evil book that she takes down and like starts using. So I think it's supposed to be something like that.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's purple though.
Yeah, but I think it's the general idea, right?
Right. I think it's the Darkhold from WandaVision. Because it turns you evil.
Darkhold Diaries?
That's true. This is the bridge between WandaVision and Agatha and the Darkhold Diaries. You know, it's what we deserve.
Yeah, that must be it. Yeah, this is where the Darkhold went after Scarlet Witch didn't kill her or it.
That's right. Yeah, she purged it from all the universes except the Magnificoverse, and he's gonna find it, put it in a portal or something, and then it'll show up for the next one. Harry Styles brings it to them.
Yep, because he's in the post-credit scene with the grandpa.
Yeah,
you know, it's all coming together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is wild that they had him be bad because of a book. What does
Yeah,
Disney have against books?
If it is the Snow White thing, if like that's supposed to be the idea, like that book doesn't make the queen evil. She's already evil and just uses it to do evil magic.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make him evil either. He's already a jerk.
Right, it just makes him kind of coked up. Like, I feel like he walks around and the queen's like, hey, honey, you want to get a cup of coffee or something? And he's like, no, I've got 2 wishes. I'm going crazy with wish ideas. And you're like, I guess this is worse. This isn't good, but yeah, it's pretty weird. It's good that she doesn't use the book, though. I bet if Elsa got it, we'd be in trouble.
Well, no, they do use the book, but they wear protective gloves, which is what you need.
That's true. All right, spin the wheel again. There's one more thing on the wheel. It's the first ever Disney divorce. Incredible.
Yeah, finally, Disney is showing us the full spectrum of all human relationships.
Is she still the queen?
It seems like it. Because at the end, she's the one hooking everyone up with their wish people, right?
Yeah. Wait, can she grant wishes?
No, but she's like, you want to fly, and Peter wants to build a flying machine, so it seems like you two should work together. But then Asha becomes the fairy godmother who grants wishes, because she has the cloak. And you know what? I actually genuinely kind of liked the fairy godmother reference, to go back a little bit to an earlier Wheel Slice, when it was just she wore a cloak and she has the wand, and it's like, oh, it's the fairy godmother. And then at the end, when they're like, Asha, will you be our fairy godmother? I was like, no, damn it, don't say it out loud.
Yeah, it was the same thing with the Peter Pan thing. They just cannot.
But yeah, honestly, the queen has a very thin veneer of legitimacy on her reign, because Magnifico was the true king, had the divine right handed down from God himself to rule Rosas, and she just married him. And like they don't seem to have a child and an heir, so she's not like acting as a regent for anybody.
No,
she just took power on her own. Like I don't know. I feel like Magnifico's cousin or something is going to come to press his claim on Rosas soon.
Yeah, now that I think about it, it's weird that there is no Magnifico Jr. Why not?
Maybe magic makes you sterile.
Or he drank a lot of Mountain Dew,
Yeah, one of the two. That's why there's so much green everywhere.
Yeah,
it's all
that
Mountain
explains
Dew.
it. That's what it is. It's a hidden, unreleased Mountain Dew, a recipe that no one's ever used because it's too dangerous. But he opens the book and makes it Ultra Surge Mountain Dew combo. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it was too powerful for mortal minds.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, they actually. He gets trapped in a mirror, and he's like, honey, don't you still love me? And she's like, no, enjoy your mirror solitude forever.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's weird that she doesn't want to like talk about this at all with her husband who she loves.
It seems like he was normal until yesterday when he started doing green book magic. And yesterday he was so annoying that she decided to give up on him forever. She's like, I hope he gets banished to the Shadow Realm. He's being a real piece of work.
And I mean, listen, if my partner suddenly became super evil, then I would also not be happy about it. But like, if it truly came out of nowhere, I would have more questions.
Yeah.
And if it didn't come out of nowhere and he's been like this the whole time, then like, why is she suddenly not okay with it?
Yeah. It's also weird now that I think about it that this place is named Rosas, because he invented it. Why isn't it just called Magnifico Land or something?
Magnificistan.
Yeah. Magnitally. Something. Why did he name it Rosas? It's a weird name.
Maybe he thought naming it after himself would be a little gauche.
Yeah, I guess so.
Or maybe it just was an island called Rosas, and he just founded a kingdom there.
That's possible. It's weird that you have tour guides here. I feel like we've never gotten into the tourism economy in the but like hypothetically, people are touring all of these places, going like vacation. I
mean, if it's like vaguely medieval times or Renaissance times or whatever it's supposed to be, then like not a lot of people.
Apparently, yeah. But you can also like emigrate here. Like this is a nation of immigrants, it seems.
That's true. That's why
Anyone can come
Lin-Manuel
to
Miranda
Rosas.
should have worked on it.
That's right. Yeah, that would have been cool. It's not good. Anything else about this movie?
I hated it. No one should watch it. Even when it comes on Disney Plus, don't watch it.
I think you should watch it for fun. Like, I think people could get a nice kick out of watching this and going, what the fuck is this?
Maybe.
Looking at their little hot dog hands and stuff. All the weird little stuff they do. Probably the star put on a little mustache. That was cute. I like that. Did you like it, Diggins?
Where the star wore a mustache?
Yeah.
My audience laughed.
I loved it so much. It was the best thing I'd ever seen in my entire life.
I think so too.
Ha, 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 ha.
Yeah, this movie's weird. Is Disney in trouble right now? What's going on with Disney? Ask this question.
I don't know.
The Marvels,
Pass.
Indiana Jones, this, Star Wars, not really anything. I don't know, Ashoka. I guess.
Mean, Elemental was good.
Yeah, Elemental was pretty successful this year, and Guardians was
Wow,
successful.
DJ, you think Elemental was good?
Yeah.
I feel like I remember some things about something that some people said about Elemental when other people said that Elemental was good.
Yeah, but that was before the turtle did rapping in this movie, and then he was like, "Oh, never mind. I see now what a true bad movie could be." Yeah, Elemental's okay, but yeah, I don't know. This is a weird year for Disney.
Yeah, most of the things they've made have been bad.
Yeah, and like expensive. You know, Haunted Mansion. That was this year. Remember that?
Oh my god, I didn't.
Yeah, and that was because it came out in the middle of the year for no reason. Little Mermaid was also this year. Also didn't make any money. Like, they've just made some insanely expensive movies over the last year that, to be profitable, have to be the highest grossing movie of that year, and none of them were.
And they've, similar to movies they've been making for a while, most of which haven't been good. And then it seems to be the year finally everyone was like, all those other ones weren't good, so why would I see this one?
Yeah, I mean, this is their second Thanksgiving kind of blunder in a row, too. Apparently, Strange World came out last year around this time. Remember the Jungle Cruise movie? Oof.
Oh, yeah.
Raya and the Last Dragon. This has been no bueno. Looking at this list. Oh, Cruella. We like that, right? That was good. No, wait, it was not.
Kind of liked it.
Encanto was good.
Luca
was good. I like those two. That's about it, though, on this list, honestly. It's pretty rough. But you guys, you want to get to our classic segment?
I would love that, Nando.
Let's do it. DJ, do you have anything to recommend to the fine people?
I think I would recommend not getting the world's most famous coronavirus. I think
masks, the booster.
Yeah.
Did you get the booster?
I did. Yeah.
Well, figures, you know.
Maybe that's why it's
there we
not
go.
so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, no, there we go.
You got to take all your daily doses of horse dewormer for you to get better.
There's a TV show I want to recommend because I'm not allowed to because I'm worried it'll have some let's just say some unwanted outcomes for my interests.
I have no idea what that could mean, but all right.
Yeah, it's okay.
Is it like The Ring? If you see it, will you die or something?
Honestly, it's my version of that. So, look, that comment might be for an audience of one, but that one person knows what I'm talking about.
Is it Mr. Monk's Last Case, a monk movie? I don't know if that's out yet, actually.
Well, that one person can't be Michelle since she doesn't listen to this podcast.
This is true. No, it's fine. It's good. And it's fine. I I've said too much already. This is too much. It's fine. I'm delirious. You know what I watched?
It's Delirious, the Eddie Murphy stand-up special?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty good. You should go
Oh, no, you want to recommend all of it. That Christmas movie, that Eddie Murphy Christmas movie where he makes a deal with like a witch or something and he's going to get turned into a doll. And so he teams up with all the people who did get turned into dolls.
Is that what that's about? Oh, man.
Candy Cane Lane.
I kind of want to watch that now. That seems awesome.
Either that one or the Ed Helms one where it's Freaky Friday, but it's all of them.
The SNL sketch where the kids all have sex with the parrot. You ever seen this one? It's like a John Mulaney sketch where it's this canceled show called Switcheroo, where like the guy that made it is just super, like it's just an interview, but he keeps talking about it, and the more he feels about the show, the more it's just an incest show. That's what this is. You should watch that sketch. It's really funny.
No, watch the Scott Pilgrim show on Netflix. It's pretty good. I liked it. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off or whatever.
I've heard that's good.
It
it's
is
good.
good.
It's more. It's weird. I don't want to, and I'm really not copping out. I don't want to say too much about it because I think
Yeah, from what I understand, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
that's fair. So you know what? Watch it. How's this? If you like any kind of Scott Pilgrim content, watch this goddamn animated thing. It's good. You know it's great? They got the whole cast back, and the whole cast is good. I gotta tell you, man, that Jason Schwartzman, he's having a hell of a year.
He is having a hell of a year.
It's the Schwartzman-assance, apparently.
It really is. The only question is, did he ever leave? You know, he's one of those guys that's been putting in good work for years.
Don't
and
call
years.
it a comeback.
Okay, fair enough. No, that's fair. But
it
banger
is
year
his
for
year.
him.
Yeah, I mean, this has to be his biggest year since, I don't know, the late 90s, whenever he's kind of started. It was everywhere. But
So yeah, I'll go with that. So how about you, Diggins? What do you got to recommend?
I watched a little movie since last we recorded. A little movie called Godzilla -1.
oh, is that the one where him and King Kong team up with a baby King Kong and the Hollow Earth?
Yep, that's right.
Cool. What'd you think?
No, that movie's
pretty
not
good.
out yet, Nando.
This
This is a Japanese Godzilla movie, and you know it's kind of frankly embarrassing that right as we as Americans are finally making like halfway decent Godzilla movies for the first time ever, Japan has just been like churning out like career best, some of the best Godzilla movies ever made, just one after the other.
Yeah.
It's like they can't. It's like we can't even enjoy our successes because we're still being upstaged.
It's bullshit. They can give us a couple of years to catch up, you know? It's like the World Cup. They need to let us win a couple of them before we can really feel like we're part of it. You know?
Exactly. But no, so Godzilla -1, if you don't know, it just came out. It is sort of a reimagining of the first Godzilla. So it's post World War II Japan. Godzilla is a little like prehistoric monster who gets mutated by nuclear bomb testing and becomes a much huger monster who destroys Tokyo and has to be stopped by Japanese people. Except this time, the reason it's called Godzilla -1 is because the original Godzilla took place right after the JDF, the Japanese Defense Force, which is what they have instead of a military, was formed after being demilitarized after losing World War II. It's called Godzilla -1 because this takes place before it formed. So the response is entirely like a civilian response instead. Anyway, it's really good, honestly. It's like, besides that the Godzilla design is great and like the scenes of Godzilla destroying things are all like super well choreographed and like well done and are just like really fun to watch. It also has an actually like very good story about this like former kamikaze pilot who didn't go through with it because they were losing the war, and he's like, what's the point? And sort of like his survivor's guilt and everything afterwards, and the life he sort of ends up having after the war, trying to put everything back together, and then like how Godzilla itself becomes entangled with that. I don't know that I'm describing it super well, but it's honestly like a really well done story. So like the human parts are also very engaging and compelling and fun to watch, in addition to all the Godzilla stuff being great. So it's just like genuinely a really good movie. And I would recommend it highly if you have a chance. It's not an American movie, it's a Japanese movie, so it's probably not going to be in theaters for very long because we hate foreign movies and subtitles here. But
it has to get one. We get one every 20 years, and RRR apparently was the last 20 years. So maybe this gets to be the one of the next 20 years.
Maybe. You know? But if it's playing in a theater near you, I think you should definitely go, and you should definitely try to see it in a theater if you can, because those destruction scenes are beautiful. What about you, Nando? Do you have anything to rec?
Is it as beautiful as the end of Wish when he turns green?
Almost.
Oh my God.
Almost
incredible.
As beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, I also watched Napoleon. It's not very good.
I've heard.
Do you have anything to rec?
I watched a bunch of things this week. Again, more Fargo. We're watching season 2 of Fargo because Hannah had never seen that. It's, I think, the best one. I've never seen 3 or 4, but I hear 4 is kind of bad and 3 is okay. But like 1 or 2 are great. So watching 2 again, love that.
I never saw 4, but I saw 3 and I liked 3.
Oh, you like? Okay.
It's not as good as 2. I love 2.
Yeah. I think 2 is like generally assumed like kind of the best one. Although this new season's very good. Like it's got a lot of promise. Also we watched Fargo. Again, like the movie. Have you watched any of season 5?
No, but I've been hearing good things, and like you wrecked it last recording session, so I've been thinking about hopping back on.
Like it's great. I really like it. I forgot how much it's like Fargo. And I know I said this last week because there were some things where you're like, oh yeah, that happens in Fargo too. But like everything in that movie, everything in season 5 has some Fargo analog. Some of them are a little different, but it's like that part of it I had forgotten.
I neglected to say this last time also, but you mentioned how it mostly doesn't take place in Fargo. Also true of the movie Fargo.
Yeah, that's true. Fargo is just the kind of central police. I think Fargo in the movie is where the killers are from or something.
I think, but it mostly takes place in Brainerd.
Yes, that's right. And this mostly takes place in another small town, but Fargo is connected in a similar way. Honestly, I don't even think season 2 has Fargo in it at all, because the main stuff that's happening in the city is in Oklahoma City, I think. But I don't know.
That's not season 2, I don't think. Season 2 is the one with Ted Danson.
Yeah, isn't that where Brad Garrett's guys are from? Like
that's where they come from, Kansas City, but they're coming Kansas up to North Dakota to like do stuff.
Yeah, whatever that small town is that they live in. Can't remember the name of that either. Anyway, it's good. My only thing with this season is it takes place in the present day, in what or somewhat close to the present day in like our world. And if all these things happen to you, you would go, oh, it's like Fargo, especially if you lived around there. I do want a character. I would hate it if a character said that. It would be a bad idea, but it's so similar. The other thing that I watched this week, well, I guess I watched more Fargo, more Godzilla, still good. I like that show. Still haven't watched the movie. And whatever other show we watched, For All Mankind, still insane. New SNL this week, okay. Didn't love it, didn't hate it. I watched a YouTube video this week, which is the hot new thing that everyone's watching. Have either of you seen it?
Yeah. I also watched this.
Yeah, so what's his name? Everybody's favorite H-Bomber guy made a new video, which is called Plagiarism and YouTube. And it's about plagiarism on this YouTube platform. And you're like, what does that mean? And part of it's just like kind of the idea generally of like, what is it like when you get plagiarized and stuff? And then he gets a little specific with some certain, YouTubers. In fact, one that I think I recommended on this show, which is the Weird Hole Story, apparently is plagiarized, ripped directly from a website. But then he goes, I know. Well, I mean,
how are you?
It's still a cool story, but yeah, check on that website if you want to learn more. But then in a halfway point, it turns into a specific like teardown of this one guy who is just plagiarism, and it is wild. Like
he's a plagiarism factory.
Yeah, it's like he decided to get into plagiarism by way of YouTube. It's pretty impressive, honestly. And like pretty although apparently there have been people that have been saying like this guy's a fraud or whatever for a while, but to this extent, it's pretty I haven't seen anything this nailed in like that. This just really is perfect. It's 4 hours long, so it's that. Like it takes you a little while to get through, but I think it's worth it. I think it's pretty funny as well. Some good references to video games and stuff in it. And yeah, it's a very fun game or a very fun movie. Basically, I mean, it's longer than most movies. I would say the only game I got, which I just got earlier today, but played minutes ago, is the new kind of half Vampire Survivor, half Hades mashup game called like Kill the Dead or something. I'm turning on Steam so I could say it, but if people haven't heard of this, it's pretty fun. It's like those two games mashed together. It's like more of the world building.
Do you make kissy noises while you're mashing them together?
Not yet, but I could see that being part of it later, because my hub world is incredibly sparse, and I do think eventually there will be some characters in there that are supposed to be like that. It's called Death Must Die. That's the name of the game. So I'm 32 minutes in, but so far I'm enjoying it. So I'd recommend that to people. Also, it's like $6. So another like kind of hard, just like Vampire Survivor. It's hard to say no to. What are we doing next week, you guys?
What are we? What are you doing next week?
Yeah, is there like a thing?
Nando, what are you doing by yourself?
Apparently, yeah. I'm gonna do Poor Things, I guess. I don't know. What's like gonna do the Beyonce movie? What else is out?
Maybe we'll spare Diggins. We'll do the Entourage movie.
No, God, no. Although we do still want to hear from you, whoever that is.
Yeah, whoever won the Eliminator, please reach out to any of us.
Yeah. There's a new Netflix movie that's supposed to be pretty weird called Leave the World Behind with Marshall Ali. But that's probably not that interesting. Like we're close to Wonka, but we're not quite there. So I don't know. Are there any like shows or things that we've like? Because we'll wait till Diggins is back for the thing, for Percy Jackson, since that's like a prize one. See, I don't know. Is there anything people have ideas for what we should do? They should tell us.
Make a poll, Discord.
Also, speaking of that, Discord, we've seen all the people who have been sending in there who listened for the most time thing. I don't know if you guys have been keeping track, but we found the 0.1% person. That's pretty wild. There's a couple of them.
Yeah, I mean, really, no one should spend any amount of minutes listening to us.
That's fair. True. But also, if you're going to do it, do it as much as. So right now, the one that I have here is CJ on Twitter, who tagged me in that. They listened for 72,430 minutes. That puts them in the top 10th of a percent. Yeah. So I have seen some more of these on the Discord. And everybody who listens at all, you're all treasures. Listening to one episode of this podcast might be that many thousands of minutes. Who's to say? But listening to that many, insane. Very, very cool. Yeah. I'm trying to find. There was another one. Oh, someone. Okay. So we've got somebody. Bessica Buys Books is 80,000 minutes, so they might be the most, which is pretty cool. So if you are more than that, let us know. Besides that, do you guys have anything to plug?
Roses and Rejections, we do Golden Bachelor finale. It's over, and yeah, we go over that.
Oh, did he pick one?
Yeah, he picked one.
Are they all pregnant? Like that
No.
Onion article I sent you?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that? It's pretty funny.
I did that. It was funny.
Yeah. Diggins, what about you?
Nope. What about you, Nando?
I put out videos recently, a lot of great ones. I put out my Young Avengers pitch, so that's on YouTube. And then on Nebula currently is my Who Should Take Over from Kang, if we want to just drop that character completely from Marvel stuff, which is very helpful. The Kevin Feige came out this week and said that they'll never bring Robert Downey Jr. back, because I think that would be a good idea if they did it correctly. But also, I think you could do it other ways. I don't know if I'm gonna have another video out before that. I'm surprised we still haven't gotten any Fantastic Forecasting. Like they still haven't done that. And we'll probably hear more about that eventually. So I'll probably have videos about that on my channel, the Nando Cut. But as of yet, nothing. But yeah, next week we'll see. Put it in the Discord and maybe we'll do that. Until then, I've been at Nando V Movies on Twitter.
I'm at Zippy by Day.
I'm at This Is an Odd Name.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Woo. Bye. I love you.